Well, hello everyone. How are you doing? I hope that your day has been a really good one. It's Friday. We made it to the end of the week. I've got Mr. Chalupa cuddled up next to me, and Salsa's standing up kind of at the end of the bed looking and peering. I think she wants to get under the fuzzy blanket. Let me take care of that. That's what she's looking at. Okay, little girl. Let me move this over here for you. There. Are you happy? Is that going to make you happy? You going to be happy, girl? Huh? No, that didn't seem to do the trick well. But it was making me hot, and I may actually need to turn on my ceiling fan. And I will have to tell you guys this. I am so grateful that I have power because there's still about 600,000 people or so in the Houston area that do not have power. I think it was up to 1 million people did not have power. I lost it yesterday, but then it came back on. Thank goodness, because I don't think I would be very happy without having power, especially with my Bubby Wumpkins and all that. So yeah, yesterday was my birthday. I am now officially 60 and I have no makeup on. I have on, but I will actually. This is me. Oh, my hair is looking completely crazy. I actually got it cut. Okay, I look kind of dreadful looking at this, but here's me at 60 with no makeup the day after my birthday. And I think I'll just go hide now. Oh, but I didn't turn myself off. There. So much better. I hadn't even looked at what my hair looked like. I have been working all day. I worked all day yesterday. And it's kind of interesting because it was sometime a few weeks ago, because something has been bugging me when I review other people's training, and it's the way they write instructional objectives. And I'm always giving the same feedback. It's not what they're doing in the training, it's what they're able to do on the job as a result of the training. That's what your objective needs to be about, is what they will do on the job, not aligned to the activities. And so my manager said, well, go find me a resource. And I'm like, no problem. And the funny thing was, is I did. And it was somebody I knew. It was the person who trained me that I consider my mentor in instructional design. It was his stuff. And so I emailed him, and now we are talking back and forth about the use of AI in instructional design. And he's looking for particular things. And so it's great to connect to him. He is now the head of a different department and has something to do with health. There's some kind of biology. He has a background in biology too. So he's just really an amazing person. And I think the thing that always struck me was the first course that I had with him, which was the systematic design of instruction, which I know sounds so very boring, and I absolutely loved it. And our final was actually showing up at his house. It was a potluck, and he wanted to know basically what worked and what didn't work. He was doing his summative evaluation with us with an open discussion. So it was really, really cool that he did that. And then I ended up being his research assistant on stuff, and just a lovely, lovely, lovely person. So when he's been back in town, I've been able to see him a few times. So I've just maintained contact with him. So just kind of a cool thing. But I wanted him to know that I found his stuff. And I'm like, of course it was your stuff. Of course you wrote it. And I had written something myself to teach people on Udemy about objectives, because that's something I always see that's wrong. And it sounds so simple, but it's a lot more difficult than one thinks. But everybody thinks they can, oh, it's just this. It's like, no, you've got to really actually think about this stuff. All right, let me say hi to you guys. Magical Nib, I totally get it that you are working with the wildlife, so no worries. And we would never take away any O coins from you, my love. Never, never, never. Because, well, those things don't reel. And, you're welcome here anytime. And you're welcome to, lurk. We appreciate the lurking. Hey there, Joe. I hope you are having a good day today, sweetheart. I know you've been going through a lot. Insolent Violet, it's so nice to see you. Hey, Gary, how are you doing, sweetie? I hope you're doing very well. CD, so nice of you to join me. And Jelly Snack, I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad to know that you're plugged in. Is Ocoin listed on Coinbase yet? I just don't think so. I haven't checked, but I haven't felt the need to check because I don't think that will ever happen. You want to trade 6 billion O coins for one, oh God, for one Dogecoin. Oh, yeah, you might as well, because like they're equally worth the same, right? Hey, Curious, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good one. Oh gosh, CD. It's funny because I think he's shadow banned because his stuff like just kind of doesn't really turn up. I think it turns up for some people and not for others. And like, whatever, he's just going to be full of self for forever. And just think this is always such a great thing. Hang on, time. Oh, sorry. I was reading something that my husband sent, and I thought he said meme, but it was for Mimi, or whatever they call their grandmother on their mother's side for my stepchildren. So that was just funny trying to translate that and realizing I was completely coming up with the wrong thing. Joe, you're in it to win it. Oh my gosh, until our ears pop. Thank you so much for reminding us, Jelly Snack, about that. You're babysitting your niece. Hello, Sam, sweetie. I hope you're doing good. So you're on good behavior. Well, maybe she'll learn a thing or two, or he'll learn a thing or two, or as a niece. So she'll learn a thing or two. Thank you very much for the happy birthday, Jelly Snack. Thank you so much. I'm not real. Yeah, I'm real. I'm real. You know I'm real. You know it. And thank you for saying I look great. That's so very sweet. If we weren't married a long time. Oh, thank you so much, Sam, for that super chat. I appreciate that so very much. Thank you for your kindness. And thank you for the birthday wish. Thank you so much. Hello, sweet goth. How are you, sweet love? Hello, Salami. How are you doing? Okay, I think I've gotten to everyone. So today we are going to be looking at, let me see, how long is it? Let me tell you guys, I put some filters on this, and last, I think Friday, I started trying to like export it and stuff, and that didn't work. So I ended up doing it like on Saturday. It still had issues, and it took like all weekend until sometime Monday for this to export. I just think it was, freaking out because it's not used to this long of a video. Yes, he did show up yesterday. Oh, hello, Tiny Dinger Condoms. I am so glad you are here. Oh, on Passive, Tiny Dinger Condoms. Oh, so you're sponsoring on Passive now. Well, that's fabulous. And I'm sure you're being paid exactly what everybody else is, that has joined, which is so far nothing. Well, I know a few people have been paid, but overall, like month to month, people aren't getting anything. But we were told by Ash that like basically it's coming. Everything is always, it's coming, and it was interesting. Actually, let me find it and I will read it to you guys to just kind of set this stage. Give me just a minute. I just saw something funny. I'm just going to about pee on myself. It's going to take me a minute to go find it because somebody posted this. So talk amongst yourselves. Where is it? They're all about the fantastic news we received and blah, 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 blah. I swear Ash could sit on a bottle rocket, and he'd make it sound like it was just perfectly normal and it felt so good and yada, 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 which is also very odd. Also very odd. Okay, it's taking me forever to find this. I'm so sorry. I should have pulled this up earlier, but I did not. So, we're just going to deal with it now because I want to make sure whatever I am saying is correct. And so it's just taken me a bit to find it because you know how it is. Sometimes you just can't find what you're looking for. Have you guys ever, gone through that? I swear it's like with me daily, especially like when I'm trying to organize stuff and be organized and put things in different folders and all of that. Let's see, is this it? Nope. Nope. But people are making it sound like, basically, it's just a matter of days. It's just a matter of days. Blah, 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 blah. It's all coming. And then today, somebody mentioned that Red spoke about there going to be different packages. And this is in my Discord. So I'm going to have to go and find that. Maybe I can find that first. Maybe I can do that. So where was it? See, again, I'm back to where was it? Because one of you kind people posted this in here for me, which I appreciate. Is it in this part? Okay. So this person said that Red talked about changes to the commission structures based around different packages for OConnect. If you only buy a lower package, you can earn commissions on the higher packages, but you can't withdraw the higher level until you buy the higher level package. You can only withdraw the lower level commissions and not the higher level commissions. Oh, you can earn them, but we're not going to pay you on those because you haven't bought the higher level. Isn't that a little bit trashy? I mean, I think it is. It's kind of misleading. Also, there's going to be a time limit for withdrawal only within 30 days. So after 30 days, you can't withdraw commissions and you can only upgrade packages and buy new packages with the money in your wallet. And they said, it seems to me they're moving the goalposts again. They've only vaguely talked about different OConnect packages. This is the first time they've mentioned restrictions on your commission. That just seems very, like I said, just kind of icky, kind of icky and unfair. I don't think I've ever heard that anyone in anything saying, oh, sorry, you're not going to get these commissions anymore. You only have 1 month for them. And I'm guessing that is like if you sold a higher tier or something, you have 1 month in order to get that higher tier. And if you don't, well, then it's bye-bye to that, which I think that is just trashy. That's just basically the only thing I have for it. Okay, so let's see. So basically there were 3 things. And I mean, these notes are pretty short. So it says, ONPASSIVE is here to stay and will thrive and shock you. I mean, I'm really not so sure. How in the hell is it going to shock us now? No matter how good you think it is, it's much better and you will be thrilled. I always love this. What do you mean by it's much better? How do you gauge better? And why are you not specific? If you hate humanity, you will not like what we are doing. Now, I don't know why he has to always put something in there that well, only if you don't like humanity, you won't like us. Only if you love humanity, then of course you're going to love what we're doing, which is absolutely bullshit. And then I love this next line. We crushed many records in September 2023. What were those records? Where can we find these records? Who's keeping track of these records? Because I think you're just making up a bunch of bullshit. I don't think there are any records. And you're just saying there are to make it sound like you're fancy or something, you know? Like you really are doing something. And of course, the sheep are just going to eat that all up and be like, yeah, we did. Except for, they haven't exactly really been paid in months for that, which allegedly they're going to. And then I love this part. And we scared everyone. How in the fuck did you scare anyone? Who's running around scared? No one. That's who, Ash. Absolutely no one. No one is scared running around like, oh my gosh, ONPASSIVE. We're so scared of ONPASSIVE. Nobody is doing that. Get real. Let's see. And then the processing companies froze our money. Right, Sam? They broke the world record of waiting for a payment. Well, I think the processing companies found out you were doing something a little bit shady, a little slim shady there, and didn't want to do business. Again, it's always like, never is there any blame on Ash or ONPASSIVE. They are just above reproach. They are perfect in every way. They never have a misstep. Everything they do every day, all day is 100% perfect as planned. Bunch of bullshit. Let's see. I told you we would win. And I told you we were down to 3 steps left, which he doesn't even say what those steps were or what the 50 steps were. He gives nothing in terms of anything in particular, anything specific. It's all vaguisms. We have no additional steps left. All obstacles regarding funds have been solved. If so, then why don't you say how it's been solved? Why don't you lay it out? What did you do to solve it? How did you solve it? Yeah, he's not going to tell them that. He's just, it's all solved. Yes, it's a done deal kind of a thing. Any day. I mean, and that could be in 9 months from now, because that's any day, right? We will receive the funds and we will move forward with payments and withdrawals. So basically, you got to wait until they get the money. And I mean, I kind of have a feeling other things happened with the money, things about getting things clean. And then that's when they're going to be able to move forward with payments and withdrawals. I'm just not holding my breath on any of that. Thank you very much for the belated 60th birthday. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Payments, etc. At most, it will sit in banks a few days to get the process going. Well, what does that mean? It will sit. Why does it have to sit there for a few days to get the process going? I mean, are you on some sort of, what is it called in the banking industry when you make a deposit hold? So is he trying to say that there's some sort of deposit hold on the funds? And if so, why not say there's a deposit hold? Because deposit holds are a real thing when there is an odd amount of money that's deposited that's not in your normal transactions. The bank won't just go like, yeah, here's the money. They hold it back to make sure everything is on the up and up. 2, additionally, we have made incredible progress with payment processors. Well, you mentioned that up here, but you're not saying exactly what that is and how it was done. King of Karma says, I lived in Asia for 28 years and returned to him trying to scam my entire high school crowd. Holy shit. I take it personal as he is stealing from the people I worked and lived with. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I do know that they have hit Southeast Asia very hard. And there is a leader over there that has done some questionable type things. I'll just leave it at that. Testing is underway. What kind of testing for what? And we will end up with several to handle the volume. Again, he loves to talk about like ONPASSIVE has a volume that no one has ever experienced in their life. Where's the evidence of this? Are we all just taking his word? Because I'm not buying it. I mean, go take those papers, sell them on a different street corner, because I'm not buying what you're selling at all. But the sheep will buy that, you know, they will buy it. Is that like, oh yeah, because, you know, everybody's scared of us, everybody this and that and that, blah, 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 blah. I mean, and they really believe that people are scared of them. They're not. They're not. And I will show you, because it was something that I sent to my former professor and now, I guess, colleague. 3, the quality of OConnect is amazing. How so? Because I know I have seen buffering. There's been problems with video quality, problems with audio quality, stupid emojis flying all over the place for no particular reason that nobody really asked for or wanted. No corporate entity is going to want to have emojis just flying all over the fucking place. That's so stupid. And so are the resounds. I mean, what professional organization is going to want to have the resounds of fire, fire, fire? Who the fuck wants that? No one. That's just stupid. Anyway, an updated version of the mobile app is about to be, okay, again, it hasn't been, it's going to, everything is going to, everything's coming. Nothing is here, but it's on the way. It just, trust me. Like you've always trusted me. And I told you something would happen last month. It didn't. So I'm telling you something's going to happen this month. Let's see. Not holding my breath. And it'll be like, oh, it's going to happen next month. Oh, yeah, I told you any day. I didn't specify when. And then he will definitely find a way to, you know, deflect it and blame someone. I'm quite sure, because he's a master at deflecting and blaming. Let's see. Oh, Verify is almost done. Sir, you've had nearly 6 fucking years to work on this shit. And it's just now almost complete. That is just the most bizarre thing. That is so bizarre to me. Okay, almost done. And that will lead to introducing more products, such as, like what? What are those products? Oh, you're not going to say. You're just going to randomly say products. Okay. Ash wants to tell us more, but he cannot right now. The absolute best of what we have has not shown up yet. What a bunch of horse hockey. I mean, that's all I have. I'm trying to, let me see. What was I looking for? 2024 AI landscape. All right. Because this is something that, because I was talking to my colleague about a taxonomy of AI stuff for instructional design. And I sent this to him. And I clicked on the one that's interactive and actually kind of go back. Oh, darn it. Because I was, sorry, guys. Okay, because this actually has like a PDF. And I think I actually posted a picture of this. And it goes both ways. All of this stuff. I mean, this is showing you all these players within the world of AI. And you know what's missing? Guess what's missing, guys? ONPASSIVE is not mentioned in any of these. Nothing, 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 nothing. But yet they're supposed to be, I guess, producing some kind of fabulous AI stuff. And I will put this link down here for you guys. Did you guys get that? Okay. Hey, Lamar, how are you doing? You're still trying to figure out what records ONPASSIVE launch broke since they broke all the records. Yeah, me too. What are those records? I want to know. I want to know. What are those records? Where do we find them? How can we see them? How can we verify them? Oh my God. ONPASSIVE is missing because they're too big for that list. Yeah, everybody on this list is just afraid of ONPASSIVE. That absolutely must be it. That's why they're never mentioned anywhere, is everybody is just so afraid of ONPASSIVE. They're all just like, oh my gosh, they're going to take over. What are we going to do? Oh. Yeah, they're just all really worried about that. That's a good laugh. Thank you so much for that laugh. I really appreciate it. All right. So let me go ahead and bring up, and I'm going to have to make sure that you guys will be able to, you know, like hear everything. And let me know if you're, because I have my intro on here, and I'll start it, and let me know if you can hear that, because that will let me know if I need to bring it over onto the other side. Okay, why is it not playing? Why is it not playing? Hang on a minute, guys. Let me remove that. Do not tell me that I downloaded this fucker and it fucked up after it's 2.5. Do not tell me that. Okay, let me try something. I want to close out of that. Okay, this is going to piss me off like there's no tomorrow if that is the case. Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. It's because it got disconnected from my, what is this thing called? Where I have it plugged into. My dock station. That's what I'm trying to say. My docking station. Hey, Mudhun. How are you, sweetheart? I hope you're doing well. All right, let me try this again. That's why it has to be why that was not playing. And it always takes me forever to then go find this. And here I thought it was like all just ready and all of that. We'll get there. We'll get there. Why isn't it in there? Where did it go? Where did it go? Why is this taking me forever to once again find? Should have been in here. And now I can't find it. Still going to be looking around, so talk amongst yourselves. That's what I'm looking for is Oron 3rd May, but it's not this one. That's the original. There it is. I think this is it. It was from May. Is it this one? Yeah, there it is. Okay. I found it. Okay, here we go. Share my screen again. And let me know if you guys can hear this first part. Hello, Queen.
It's going. It's going. Yeah. How are you?
Can you guys hear that? Let me know if you can hear it. I had to laugh when Marty said, when I say "Oh, connect," it's like years ahead of the competition. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Yep, classic Marty. Could you guys hear this?
All right.
That's a
Happy
pretty
to be
warm
here.
shirt.
Oh, thank you. Happy to be here.
Good. Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
Glad to have you back.
I heard you had a blast last Friday. I'm still waiting for the recording unless you haven't posted it yet. Haven't got around it yet.
I don't think I did. No.
Okay. So we usually send it to Marty and then he puts it in the format.
Yeah, usually Marty will go in and get it because he has my login stuff. So.
Oh, okay. I will remind him. Because I want to hear what it was. You know, I heard everybody had.
It was a good webinar. It was. Yeah,
when we talked it about always is. Is Mr. Ash having the link?
Pardon?
Is Ash having the link?
Yeah.
Does Ash having? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome
to chances are slim, but you know.
Yeah, I always send him the link.
Yeah, good.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
That's right.
So it's
welcome, Alps. Good to see
y'all
you.
had a good time down there?
Yeah, it was most part of it is good, but it's different anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been several years, like 20 years ago we went, and that was a different timing. So.
Yeah, I think it's about, we went there and when was it? 2001?
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah. We went to the 3 different stops on the cruise ship.
Yeah. I think we went. Okay. You have grandchildren?
Yes. Hey, you guys gonna have to go in the other room, I said, remember? See ya. Have a great night.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm just going to have to say it really hurts my heart that he has grandchildren over, and rather than spend time with them and play with them, he's doing this. You know? That just really hurts. And also telling basically, you can't play in here. Like, and they sounded pretty young. That really, really hurts me. Really hurts me. Yeah, it was May 3rd. Yep, you're right.
Are at the helm of the wheel. It's a big ship he's driving, and he hasn't ran it ashore yet or hurt anybody. So I don't have a problem, except sense of time. who knows how much time we have left, right? So let's hurry up, Ash. No, just kidding. So,
Hey,
Chris,
Ron,
you want to say some words?
let me say
ahead,
one
Mike.
thing. Let me say one thing very, very quickly. And Minnow touched it off. You know, the emotions in ONPASSIVE, they're very, very powerful, especially those individuals that have an idea of what's happening. And that's so important, but they're emotions that are under control. But under the surface, they're just, and I know everybody's like that, they're just boiling. I mean, and I hear it when all of you talk about ONPASSIVE. You can hear the deep emotions that are involved, and it's really, really powerful. And you should never lose that. I know some people, they're a little hesitant to talk to other people. People get in front of me and they bring up ONPASSIVE. Just
The emotions are powerful. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to say your name correctly, but I think the last name is Kumar. You're welcome to be here, but please do not speak in emojis. Use your words.
get out of the way, because I can't contain it. And really, that's okay. Most of the people here, you know as much as I do. You can verbalize what I do as well as I do, if not better. And showing a little emotion, it's not a bad thing, because ONPASSIVE, deep down, there's a volcano ready to erupt. And again, that's going to be a fun thing to watch too. Go ahead, Ron.
That's a good point. Thank you. Chris, share some words with us.
I thought you weren't going to pick on me.
I never said that.
No, I actually like the way Mike started it out about falling in love with a woman. I think everyone can relate to what he's saying. And it really woke me up a little bit as he was saying that, because I'm thinking, you're right. You want to be with that person. You're excited. You can't wait for the phone to ring. And when you're away, you're like, It was a very good analogy. Comparing it to a passive, I believe he was doing that, because I believe we could say ONPASSIVE is a woman. It's many things, but we could say it's a woman. It's got all the curves. It knows how to hug us. And it's a beautiful.
What? What are we doing here? We're comparing ONPASSIVE to a woman. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm offended. I am just offended by that.
I don't know if Mike was going there, but
I'm not that bold, Chris.
it really was how you start.
But you're spot on.
You had me at hello, Mike, right off the start. I just think it was a wonderful comparison about something that you love that much that you want to be with. I think down deep in all of our hearts, we have this extreme love for this company called ONPASSIVE. I believe we have an extreme love for Ash Mufareh for doing this. I think we have extreme love for people that get out every single day and talk about it, where you talk about it a little or a lot. It's a big deal.
Oh, wait, hang on, guys. I didn't realize I had skipped way ahead. So let me pull this back to the beginning. I am so sorry, because I think I was trying to test that earlier. I didn't realize that. So we'll come back to that. I'll just start about there. Sorry about that.
We arrived there, and they're 2 hours ahead of us. It was 7:30 in the evening.
We'll get to enjoy that again.
Which would be 5:30 us. So that's like 15 and a half hours of journey.
Yeah.
Exhausted. But they had good time too. And so
Yeah. That's good.
Jean and I decided, as much as we can, let's stay inside the United States.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Although I really like someday for us to go to Singapore, to Dubai.
Yeah.
You just have to bring your expectation way low and mentally prepare for it. So.
Right. Yeah, anymore it's just a big tourist trap.
Yeah. Have you been drinking your? Are you done?
Not like I should. I'll be honest with you, not like I should.
Yeah, one a day, or it's a good idea.
It tastes up.
What did she ask him that if he was drinking something? Because if memory serves, Miss Thing over here is involved with ASEA. And Dr. Bill is involved with ASEA, or at least he has been at some time, and so is Charles Osong. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to put that fucking thing on the tangled web that I have been working on. I swear I'm running out of space. I don't know, but I need an entire fucking wall. That's what I need.
Almost like distilled water.
It tastes like distilled water. Yeah. If you cool it, you won't. It tastes better.
It was good. It was good.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the taste. It surprised me.
Yeah, it's
But she was about to say, if you cool it, it tastes better, because she was like admitting it tastes like crap unless you cool it. But then he's like, oh yeah, no, it wasn't too bad, and so she just went with that. That's just weird.
Both molecule into different molecular structure and make a charged molecule. They're called signaling molecules, which replenish our body already make it. But this is external supplement to give your cells a supply to replenish for renewal and renovation and repair. So it's like help at cellular level.
Right.
I sent the gel to Dawn DeGarmo, two tubes of the gel, and she had a burn. She says anytime you need to testify for that.
A testimony.
Yeah, there's testimony. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question.
And,
I have a question, guys. I know other actual businesses will use testimonials about different products and things. I'm fully aware of that. However, when it comes to MLM, that's about all that they do. It's like, oh, could just use a testimonial, but you're not actually telling people the real numbers of what they could actually make in this alleged opportunity, which when you peel it all back, very few people will ever make any money. And those of us who follow these things all know that. Oh, you think that she meant, Beth, she meant testify like in civil court to the SEC eventually? You think it was that? I think it was a testimonial about the ASEA products is what I was thinking. So am I wrong? I mean, were they contacted about testifying to the SEC? But I don't think you have to worry about that when it is in mediation. So I'm a little bit confused. I'm going to go with it was for ASEA, and it was to provide testimonials. Says that is something that if you look on any of their landing pages, same things with all these coaches, you see all these people, leaving testimonies. And one of the things that I always find funny, and it's when I have looked at recently, like at Live Good and Nilo Life, the people who are leaving the testimonials are the people who are like high up there. I was like, well, yeah, y'all are all in it to pitch it. It's just, oh, you were joking. Okay. Don't scare me like that.
A lot of good natural.
Yeah.
She's doing all right. She's got some issues. But we're working on it. So
It's sometimes easier to work it out than trying to adjust to otherwise. For both of you.
Biggest problem is
Oh, wait, so
that will do.
so he made the gesture of drinking. The biggest problem is drinking the product, or was he talking about drinking alcohol? And so, I mean, I'm totally confused. I'm lost. Oh, is that what you thought? It was like his wife's got a drinking problem? Wow. Yeah, I'm completely lost. Like, what's going on here? Wow.
Could be a deal breaker.
yeah, her mom passed away a couple of years ago, and she has just never accepted it.
Never got over it.
Yeah, so that's how she tries to accept it.
No, it's a coping mechanism, you dumb shit. That's
It's
not
hard.
accepting it. That's called that she's depressed and she's coping with it, and probably coping it with your ass too, getting involved in ONPASSIVE. Fuck. Yeah, I mean, I still miss my mother. I cry about my mother. I mean, when it's Mother's Day, I always cry because I miss my mom. Bloody hell. I mean, that just pissed me right on off. Because it's like, same thing like with my dogs, when they cross the Rainbow Bridge, I still lose my shit about Tamale. You guys know that. I've talked about it. And my husband would never, make gestures like that. Like, oh, she's drinking to cope with it or to accept it. No, that is coping. Gosh, fuck off.
Yeah.
People have different coping mechanisms.
Yep.
It's like you already heard. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, I was going to look to see who
And
we
you
had.
guys are right.
have some
too. I mean,
attendees.
I don't know why you would be like airing this kind of stuff to people, especially if they're not like close friends, your family, certainly not in this format.
I mean, welcoming them. Oh yeah, we have quite a few attendees. Mike Ellis had to reconfirm the time with me. He said I have two different timing. What's the time?
They're only 2 hours
Sometimes when you
behind us,
post in
right?
the backup, he is in Central Colorado. Yeah.
So that's 2 hours. I thought.
2 hours
Yeah,
behind you, 2 hours ahead of you.
Because he thought it was at 5 o'clock his time. I said, no, it should be 7 o'clock your time.
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, yes.
Yeah. But I didn't know there was different time zones in Colorado.
Yeah, we have Mountain Time.
Mm-hmm.
That is actually Colorado on Central Time, like Chicago area,
Yeah.
and then us Pacific Time. So it is all confusing, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna. Did you
Go. This is from Ron's Ron show, which I think he does on Friday nights, and it's from May 3rd.
get to listen to his talk on? I'm gonna sneeze. To his talk with Collins and Andy when Mike was making an analogy of, wasn't that amazing?
That's what he's going to speak. That's what he's going to speak on.
It is so relatable.
I loved it. And I said, Mike, can you come and do that again?
Do that, continue, right? And Marty said that was just so not Mike. I'm like, oh, let it be, because it is just so everybody.
Yeah, he really opened up. I mean, it was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good. That's something I've
And I just say, go. All of them are pretty weird. Just all of them are always odd.
had a problem doing. I mean, I'll go to it to a certain extent, and then I kind of break it off.
Oh crap! I
And
just
so the guy said,
realized
"Forget
that
that. I'll just
that Ron has an ONPASSIVE shirt on. Why? 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 I tell you, why?
pay the cash. It's cheaper in the end." Yeah.
Mm.
They raise the premium on you for no good reason.
Well, I heard that prescription medicine is cheaper in Canada than it is in the U.S.
You know what? Some of them are, not all of them. Okay.
Oh.
And we have
Gemma Ramicki, +1.
excuse me here.
403
Yeah, tell her
901.
to call back. We're talking.
I ended the call. I called her back. Yeah. Where some of the drugs are covered and you only have to pay like a small fee for, dispensing.
Wait, are you serious? I think Rob Lynn mentioned sending Ron shirts and hats before. Again, why? Why? Why is this necessary? Why do we have anything that says ONPASSIVE on it and that they're funding it themselves? That drives me nuts. Play. There we
But
go.
not everything is covered.
My cardiologist is from India, and he gave me a prescription here a few months ago, and it was like 30 pills, and he wanted like $130 for it. And I said, man, I can't afford this. He goes, okay, well, wait till I go back home, and I'll bring you some, because I can get 1,000 of them for about, $30 or so. I said, you gotta be kidding me. I said, I can see you, Doc, carrying all these drugs in your suitcase. So I'm taking it to a patient of mine. I don't think they'll let you do that.
I know, but you would think, that in this day and age, they would, drugs shouldn't be so cheap, especially for seniors. The amount of seniors out there that cannot afford drugs, they can't afford it.
Nope.
But yet they will do nothing. Like over here, we just got free dental, right? They say free. But not everything is covered, right?
Oh.
Not
Here
everything.
is Mike. Welcome, Mike.
So, yeah.
Hello,
Mike.
hello.
Hello, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hi there, Mike.
Hi, everyone. How you doing?
Good, Mike, how you doing? How's the
Good.
weather?
I'm good. It's Friday.
TGIF.
Friday.
Right. Mike, you are in Central Time or Mountain Time?
Mountain.
Okay.
So it's 7 o'clock here.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, it's 6.
Hey, Gene.
Hi, Jean. Welcome.
Jean. Hi, Ron. Hi, Aminu. Hi, Mike. Casey, Listra.
Hi.
Hi,
Thank
Jane.
you for joining
Long time
us,
no see.
Jean. Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm so much better, guys. So much better.
Dang it.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
There. I saw something about somebody being a retired dentist. The dentist is Dr. Bill. Is that who you're referring to, or you're talking about Mike Ellis? Because Mike Ellis was not a dentist. Ron Holbert was with the sheriff's office.
I couldn't miss tonight. I'm like, I've missed too many these past few weeks. So
I agree. Why can't they do that? Why don't you
Well,
put your
we're-
phone on
we're just gonna-
silent?
We're just going to have some fun tonight.
good, good.
I mean, all the meetings that I'm in, guess what? Nobody ever has their phone on. I mean, every now and then something will be delivered at my door, and so little salsa goes nuts, but that's about it.
Yeah.
I love fun. Let's go, Mike.
Mike, I was telling Ron how many times I've been watching that your last YouTube with Collins and Andy. And I adore your analogy and can't wait to get more of it.
Well, yeah, it was a fun meeting with Andy and Collins. And then yesterday I talked to Oliver, and of course with Andy and Collins, I absolutely lost my mind. I mean, I got off and I went, oh crap. But then I talked to Oliver, and he shared a couple of things with me, and I lost it all over again. I mean, it's pretty extraordinary where we're sitting right now and what's happening. But I just share with you the things that I'm thinking about and what's affecting my life. And I think, like most of you, you can probably relate to a lot of the things that.
That's the thing. It was so relatable, Mike.
Yeah. Well, that's because I'm just an average guy. There's nothing extraordinary about me. We're all kind of the same.
But it came from heart too. It was just so sincere. We could totally understand why we're so addicted to this platform. And you use your analogy of falling in love and being focused, and no matter, time doesn't matter. It was just beautiful. I still
saying that
keep
they're
listening
addicted to
I
it.
pace myself.
And I'll use those same
I'll
use those same analogies tonight, Minnow. And I don't share that stuff that often. I just don't. But and I don't know how many people will.
Just saying they're addicted to the platform. Using the word addicted to me is troubling and very worrisome, because that generally does not have a good connotation to say that you're addicted to something. That generally is you got a problem with something, but they somehow are using that as a flex. Are they really trying to use their little social club as a flex? Hey, Steamship, how are you doing, sweetie? I mean, that was just, total cringe.
Seen the Andy and Collins webinar. It'll be similar, but there'll be some new stuff there. And
Awesome.
Again, it's stuff that Oliver shared with me. It's pretty amazing, guys. Pretty amazing. And yeah, you might not sleep tonight.
Mike, when I was telling Marty about how many times I've been listening to that YouTube, your talking analogy, he said that was so not Mike, but I'm so glad you did it. So just to reiterate what you said, that you don't share that stuff, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
I feel like we're all becoming so connected that we're sort of sharing each other's stories. Like we're becoming one heart, one mind. So sometimes we're sharing things and we're like, that's exactly how I feel. That's what my thoughts, and still with the unique flavors. But I feel like we're all like speaking for one another. So I'm really looking forward to that.
There's a lot of commonality here. Life, it's not that different for us. It's not around the world. We all have the same wants, needs, aspirations, and it manifests in different forms depending on where you're from, your culture, and that kind of stuff. But they're pretty much the same.
And Monhan, I would say, yeah, this is pretty much what I was thinking. One heart, one mind, one cult. All of it is like, again, they tick all the check boxes. Like, are we a cult? Yes, you're in a cult. You're in a damn cult. Yes.
And the relatable. And then what ONPASSIVE does for all of that. That's when it gets really remarkable, at least for me. And, I mean, we talk about changing lives all the time, and that's what ONPASSIVE is going to be doing through us. It's not necessarily the corporate side of ONPASSIVE or Ash Mufareh. It's you and I. It really is. And that's where the fun starts.
The fun starts.
Right.
I'm waiting for the fun.
Hello, Chris. Hi, Marty. Welcome, Peter Rogers. Caroline. I know it's crazy hours for Peter Rogers. Caroline, welcome.
Hey, where is Ash to provide generators for all of the people here, like 600,000 people that do not have power because of the storms that blew through last night? Where is he? You know, I thought he was supposed to help and uplift humanity. Doesn't really seem to care about anything. I mean, there was a one-off of something that was made to look as if that he actually cared and they did something, but don't really hear about anything. They don't seem to be doing anything other than making a lot of promises and nothing ever actually happening.
Rafia, hello.
Hi, Caroline.
Hey,
I
everybody.
haven't seen you in so long. It's so good to see you.
Yeah, good to see all y'all. I'm ready
And
to
we
hear
can
what
hear
Mike
you
has to
tonight.
say because I don't want to have to sleep tonight.
We can hear you, Caroline.
What's up?
Good.
How's John, Caroline?
He's doing great. He's in there eating bacon, grits, eggs,
Oh boy, that's good for him.
and toast, and apple fritter.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Peter.
Hello, Peter.
Okay.
Hi, Raphael.
Hello. Hi, Julie.
Hello,
2 p.m. here in the UK, and I'm here to listen to Mike because
Yeah.
when he was on the webinar the other night with Andy Burks, fired me up, and I thought, I could do with firing up again tonight, so I thought I'd come and listen to Mike again.
You know,
Great webinar, Mike. Great webinar.
Peter, Mark just said we're not going to be able to sleep. So if you think about taking a nap,
Yeah, even
Okay.
Collins is here, look. And Martin.
You know, Peter, they didn't fire me the last time I was on Andy and Collins. Hopefully they won't fire me tonight.
We won't tell.
But Mike, if you notice, I always ask you to go first. I don't just play it on you like Andy does, you know? He just kind of lays it on you.
Well, I think it's pretty much the same, Ron. You might be being polite, but that's not what you mean.
Hello, Chris.
Why wouldn't you
I
do it?
didn't.
Why
I
wouldn't
must
you
not
do
have
it?
gotten the memo,
Chris.
the orange memo.
I
Me,
listen.
you, and Chris.
I'm only here to dress as Halloween because it feels good, but I'm only here. This is Mike Ellis's show. I'm going to sit back and watch, and I'm not going to be ready to sleep tonight. So it's all you, Michael. It's all you.
No.
and everybody,
I'll get the ball rolling. Yeah, I'll get the ball rolling, then everybody can jump
hi,
in.
Collins.
Collins. Hi, Collins.
Hey, Mike, I just throw some water on my
Hey,
bed. I
Collins.
don't want that to sleep tonight, okay?
Hey, Raphael.
Hey, Collins.
I
Hey, Chris, great minds think alike. Look at our oranges.
Well, I don't know about your oranges, but mine are kind of loose these days.
Were you incarcerated?
I love bright colors like this. Oranges, greens, blues, they're all cool colors. So
I tell you guys, that's your color. You look great in orange.
it's talking to you, Minnow.
Looks like a pumpkin with a head on it.
Nah, you do.
Hey guys, I'm just letting you know I'm hearing some rumblings outside, some thunder. I don't know if it's going to start storming or not, but if something happens and like I disappear suddenly, it might be like, you know, the power thing here. So just so that you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's the best I've ever seen you look.
Oh, thank you, Al. Well, I have my vitamin water and my coffee with honey in it, so I'm ready to roll.
Great job.
You're definitely not going to sleep tonight.
Coffee does not. I could drink 80 cups a day. That doesn't keep me awake.
Yeah, it doesn't
make me sleepy when I drink it. So, just tastes good to me with honey in it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, Collins, what time is it there? what is it, like midnight?
It's 2 a.m. Just 5 minutes past 2.
What are you even doing here?
Yeah.
You was here.
I look at the flyer and they say you are coming. I said, let me come and spy on you.
He is in love with ONPASSIVE. Can you tell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Die hard ONPASSIVE.
Yeah. Peter and Collins, 2 a.m.
Yeah. See, Peter is here as well.
That's a problem.
Mr.
I'm
Holder,
sorry.
remember
Hey,
to
Sherry.
report-
I am sorry. Getting up at 2 a.m. to hop on something like this? Are you fucking insane? What is the purpose of that? You don't really need to be here. You just don't. And all of that, what are they even doing? It just sounds like they're having a coffee clutch. Or is that just me? Does this sound like a coffee clutch to you guys? Because that's all I'm getting from this. Just a coffee clutch. We're just going to sit here and bullshit. Kind of weird, you know? I mean, I'm here with you guys and we're watching this together. So we have an activity where we're watching this. But, you know, we're not going to all just get on here together and just talk about random bullshit, you know? I just don't understand. I just really do not understand why they feel like this is adding value to their lives. How could it possibly be adding any value to their life of just getting together over and over and over again, talking about absolute bullshit? I mean, go do something else with your time. Maybe do something in your community. Take a walk, read a book. Listen to a record you haven't listened to in a long time, because I am betting a lot of these people have vinyl. Oh gosh. Oh, Monhun. Oh my gosh. At least it's not a geriatric key party. Does everybody here know what a key party is? First of all, do I need to explain that to you guys what a key party is? Because if I will, if you don't know what it is, I'll tell you what it is. Oh my gosh, August. I feel like I'm spying on my grandmother and her friends when they played cards. Wow. Oh, sweet goth, you're watching this, hanging out, arguing with a random person. Yeah, I think we all are, kind of. It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? It's 2:17 and you're watching this, but yeah, you're hanging out with us, you know. It's different. Because you know what? If you left, I would understand. I'd say, go get some sleep.
Hey, everybody.
Explain.
Good to see everybody.
Okay. A key party, this is back in the day. This happened like in the 70s mostly. And people would go to a party and they drove. And it'd be like a lot of couples, husbands and wives would go to a party. And they would put their keys in a dish. Everybody put their keys in the dish. And so you would end up going home with someone that like took your keys. I'm not sure if I'm explaining it exactly how it went, but it had to do with kind of a swinger type lifestyle of these key parties. Everything I learned about key parties, I learned from that 70s show. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So that's basically what it is. It's just a bit like, like swapping.
Remember to record, please.
Yeah, I was going to start in about 5 minutes probably.
Okay, I'll go get me some coffee.
We've got 130 people here, so.
Can you guys hear the thunder outside? Because it is really rumbling.
Hey, Mike, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. The master of video.
What's that?
The master of videos.
Oh, I don't think anymore.
I know where one is.
You're a legend, Mike. You're a legend.
As they say.
We've got a lot of affiliates doing some really good videos. I think I've lost that title.
No, you're still up there. You're the original of the original.
No, I think people like to watch insanity. That's all.
Yeah, they say
Thanks,
they like
August.
watching old insanity, and you're the guy.
That's exactly right, Chris.
Get him, get him, get him.
You know, Mike, takes one to know one, right?
That's great. I'm trying to follow in his footsteps. I can't keep up.
It doesn't matter, Mike. We love it.
You got your own little style, Chris. That's more than enough.
I haven't figured it out myself yet, but I'm getting there. Oh boy.
Ivy is here. Sherry Dershui, welcome.
Hello. Hey, Julie. Julie's on the phone.
You know who's here is the dedicated founders, I notice. You guys are all very.
And just so you know, it's going to be raining at least from this says for like the next hour. So I don't know if it's going to be bad enough to pop off the electricity, but just in case. So, you know, if that happens, that's why.
Them, and it's a good place. It's just a good place to be, and everybody here should be there. That's it. Ron, go ahead.
You're pretty spot on, Mike. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yep.
It was excellent
Let's
to hear
top
that.
right.
And you're right. I agree. We're all winners. And it just patience is a virtue, right? It's not like you don't have to wait. We have to wait. So
You don't have a choice.
It's coming, but it's coming. I believe that in my heart. It's coming.
Oh, of course it's coming.
No matter
Everything's coming, right?
who I talk to on ONPASSIVE, they believe the same thing. There's a couple that, you know, they need to work on it. But
Well, you know, just because you believe it, don't make it so. You have no proof of anything. And oh, guess what? Other people believe this too. So we're all believing this, so it must be true. That's not how shit works. You have nothing to verify anything.
I believe everybody on this panel tonight, everybody in this webinar and the attendees believe it. That's why they're here. So anybody have anything they'd like to ask Mike?
If I may just make a comment.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Minna.
So your analogy of falling in love, it's like when you're having the vision, you're seeing the vision of ONPASSIVE, when you're in tune and on the same wavelength, when you're committed and you're staying engaged, that keeps you inspired. It keeps you focused. And you can't wait to wake up next day to see what's new now. And so that's where the sense of time, you can get lost in it. To me personally, I can't wait for the next webinar to get in there. And that has become part of my life. So I'm happy that we're getting extended O-Connect, so we're not left on limbo. And
Okay. What she said really bothered me. Is basically all these webinars have become part of her life. So it sounds like she's just sitting around waiting. When's the next webinar? I'll go to the next webinar. That's a bit cringy. Don't you have anything else to, I mean, this really feels more than anything, it's just a social thing. And I'll say, if it were to collapse, if it were to go away for whatever reason, what would they do? Can you, I mean, imagine how much that will fuck people up mentally? It will be like a death. And that bothers me and it worries me for these people.
Learn from each other. What am I going to do if I can't have this with you guys? So I'm just grateful, and the better is coming. But as long as I can still have this, I'm happy personally. Thank you.
You know, that's true, Minnow. If you look at it, Mr. Mufareh didn't have to give us extensions. You know, we could be sitting here on the side of our chair waiting for an announcement for the past several months.
You have been.
You know, but it's not in him to do that. It's in him
Lord.
to share.
Good Lord. You're getting extensions on a product that nobody wants, and nobody will want to pay what you guys paid for, those of you who bought it. And they're thinking that Ash is so great, keeping them just hanging on and not really having any way to do anything. But did I somehow like jump forward again? Did I do that? Did I do that when I got up? Because I got up and turned on the... Okay, I'm sorry. Somebody is sending me a message and letting me know.
That's exactly right, Chris.
Get him.
You know, Mike, takes one to know one, right?
That's great. I'm trying to follow in his footsteps. I can't keep up.
It doesn't matter, Mike. We love it.
You got your own little style, Chris. That's more than enough.
I haven't figured it out myself yet, but I'm getting there. Oh boy.
Ivy is here. Sherry Dershui, welcome.
Hello. Hey, Julie. Julie's on the phone.
You know who's here is the dedicated founders, I notice. You guys are all very dedicated to this company. Everywhere I go, I see the same faces. And out of let's say out of 800,000 people, you 1%ers are the true oppassive.
I have a question. For the longest time, they were saying, 1.4, 1.5 million founders. How come they're using 800,000? The only time I've seen 800,000 is in the SEC document, in the SEC's claim. So are they now walking it back and trying to say like, oh, we never really had that many people involved. We only had 800,000. I say only, but I mean, fuck, that's a shit ton of people. And are those actual positions or actual people involved? Because I mean, again, that's confusing to me.
Founders, I believe that in my heart. You guys always show up for everything.
And we have pretty good attendees right now too. So
Thank you.
How many people do we have, Minnow?
139, Mike.
Okay.
Mike,
The word is out that you're here.
you know those two little people on the very bottom of your screen, Mike? Two little people looks like together. On the very bottom, click on that and then look in your left corner. It'll show participants.
Oh, I got you.
Okay.
140. Yeah. See, I learned something every day. I learn something new about ONPASSIVE.
Every day.
Welcome, Sanju.
I think we can get this show on the road here. Let me turn on the recording. Everybody ready? I am going to mute everyone. So you'll have to unmute when you go to speak, Mike.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so all of that was the before they went live.
Good evening, everybody. It is May 3rd already of 2024. And you're on Letso. And we're back for It's Friday Night Live with Ron, Minnow, and Friends. We're so glad to be here. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Before we get started, we would like to send out well wishes and prayers for the people that are all on the prayer list. We have quite a few founders that
They have a
are
prayer
under the
list
weather right
now?
now. So please keep everyone under prayers. I can't mention all the names because I'd forget somebody, and then I would feel bad because I forgot to mention their name. So we just include everybody in ONPASSIVE. So Tonight, we have a special guest. I watch this guy a lot. He's a great speaker. He makes awesome videos. I watched him the other day on Andy Burke and Collins Manna's program. He spoke, and the topic he spoke on was just unimaginable. I mean, I got so excited. I sent him an email yesterday. I said, Mike, please come and say the same thing. Just say it over again. And he agreed. So with no further ado, let's welcome Mr. Mike Gillis from the big state of Colorado. Mike, come on down, buddy.
Yeah, no, thanks, Ron. I appreciate that. And yeah, Ron asked me to come on and kind of duplicate the presentation I gave to Collins and Andy and their.
I have a question. How come it doesn't just then focus on Mike? Why do we need to see everybody else on the screen? Because I find it very distracting that I'm seeing all this movement and shit. Why don't we just see the one person? Because typically that's what happens. Or usually people will have a deck they use or something.
Group and
it's running really hard out, just so that you guys know.
Very rarely do I come on and do the same presentation twice. I try not to do that because I don't want to bore people. But Ron's very persuasive, and I thought I'd come on and go ahead and do that. And I do have some things that I'm going to add that I didn't talk about when I was on Andy and Collins, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But initially, when I talked to Collins and Andy, we were going to talk about the buzz of ONPASSIVE, and the buzz of ONPASSIVE was the extension that Mr. Mufareh gave us. What does it mean, and where are we going? And I will get to that, but I want to start where I started with Collins and Andy, and it's a phrase that I heard quite a while back, and it just resonated with me. And the phrase was, lose your sense of time. And initially, when I tell people that, and obviously, if you listen to Andy and Collins, you kind of know where I'm going with this, but hopefully there are people here that did not listen to that. But losing your sense of time, when I introduce that to people, their initial reaction is they're just silent. They don't have a clue what that means. How do you lose your sense of time? But it really is a powerful concept. And I think ONPASSIVE eventually will get all of us to that place where we lose the sense of time. And I'll use a couple of examples that I used the other day. And the first example, it's really pretty simple. The first woman that I fell in love with, when I was with her, I didn't want to leave. And when I wasn't with her, I wanted to be with her. And really all sense of timing went away. And I was completely consumed. And I know a lot of you can relate to this. It was the perfect place to be. I didn't want to be anyplace else, and time was irrelevant. And it was a really, really special moment.
You know, I can't think of anyone where time stood still, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I wanted to be with someone. I get that. But all of this is so weird because he's tying it into ONPASSIVE. That is just a big ick to me. And it is normalizing what they're doing by attending these, quote, webinars, get-togethers, social hours, whatever the hell you want to call them, ad nauseum, because they're always there and they've already said the same faces, which that should be a red flag to them. If you're part of the ones that everybody keeps seeing, doesn't that kind of mean like you're not doing anything else? Not paying attention to anything else, just ONPASSIVE? That's weird.
Time in my life. And when you start to think about losing your sense of time, it actually happened. I didn't care what time it was. I knew where I wanted to be, what I wanted to be, who I wanted to be with. It was just absolutely perfect. And you can translate that into everyday life. You really can. And when you can do this, when you can find that area, that spot where everything is just clicking, everything is perfect, everything is going the way you want it, your talents, your ambitions, your everything that you're doing is just absolutely perfect. And when you translate that into life, there was another time early in my career. And again, it was one of those times where everything was just perfect. It was about a 5 or 6 month period in my life, in my career. And I was exactly where I wanted to be. I was my own boss. I could use my own creativity. When I got up in the morning, the day was absolutely phenomenal. When I went to bed at night, I couldn't wait for the morning to come so I could engage with what I was doing. And in that period of time, everything came together. Everything was perfect. And I lost the sense of time completely. It was just totally irrelevant. And during that 4 or 5 month period, I pulled in about $100 a week. Not a day, but and not a week. Actually, it was $100. Yeah, no, it was about $100 a week. And when I think back on that time, it was never about the money. It was only being at the right place at the right time. Everything lined up, everything worked, and really everything worked perfectly. I mean, it was one of those times in life where for 4 or 5 months, everything was right. Everything went perfect. Everything lined up. And it was just a really, really good place to be. And again, I lost the sense of time. And as we start to think about ONPASSIVE and losing your sense of time, ONPASSIVE is giving us each the ability.
To me, this whole, losing the sense of time, but it's not worrying about time, is like, I feel like he is completely gaslighting them into the whole idea that all the years you've been involved with ONPASSIVE is perfectly fine. You've just been enjoying yourself, just like, when you had a love from your youth, which I find that to be just gross and disgusting. And so very misleading, because they do spend way too much time going to all of these things, and it's not good for their mental health. But nobody talks about that. Nobody even considers that you're doing nothing but ONPASSIVE all the fucking time is taking a toll on their mental health.
To get to that place where time is just not relevant. Now, Mr. Mufareh came on last week and he talked about the extension that he didn't talk about the extension, but he said there might be another extension. We got another extension. I think it was Monday. And I know most of the people in ONPASSIVE, they're not quite at that point where they've lost the sense of time. And when they heard that there was another extension, all of a sudden, the minutes become days and the days become months, and time, it just inches by. It's like it takes forever. And when you,
good Lord.
when you think about that and you think of what Mr. Mufareh has done, it's because you don't have a total understanding.
Yes, Mike, please tell us, more about how we just don't understand what's going on. We just really don't know. We don't have a good understanding of anything. Fuck off.
What's coming. And as Mr. Mufareh talked, I don't know when it was, maybe it was a week ago, he talked about he's gone through 50 steps to get to the place where the processors that have been holding the money up ONPASSIVE will release it, and there are 3 steps left. And for me, and I'm this way most of the time. I really have lost that sense of time. However ONPASSIVE rolls out, it's fine with me. I don't worry about it. I don't think about it that much. And whether whether we have another 3 days or we have another extension or we have another 5 months before ONPASSIVE can actually start rolling and everything starts to flow, it doesn't matter to me. And I know people out there, when I throw that 5-month period in there, they're going, oh,
Go
crap.
fuck yourself.
5 months, that's an
fuck
eternity.
yourself. Good Lord. Then trying to convince them, don't worry about how long it takes. Just, let it take whatever time it needs to take. To convince them that this is I guess, normal and okay. It's not. It's not to have people sitting around for this long. And they signed up thinking they were going to make money. And all they're doing is sticking tiddlywinks up their butts.
But it really isn't when you start to understand what ONPASSIVE is doing and how it's working. And when I listened to Ash the other day, and he talked about the 50 steps he was taking to get the money released and then actually having ONPASSIVE flow, and he said there were 3 steps left. For me, 3 steps left. For me, those 3 steps, I don't think ONPASSIVE has the money yet. At least I didn't think a week ago. I don't think the processors that were holding the money of ONPASSIVE, and it's not 38 million, it's probably closer to 80 million, because they're not only holding the money that ONPASSIVE is going to pay to the affiliates within ONPASSIVE, the commissions, but it's the money that they have to pay ONPASSIVE. So it's a lot more than 38 million, because the 38 million could only be 25%. We don't know that. But it could be $80 million that these processors are holding. And I'm not sure a week ago that money had been released. When you get attorneys involved with anything, nothing happens quickly. It's not just, it's not right. It's just a matter of grinding it out, knowing that you're right, and you will get the money back. And I think that's where ONPASSIVE was a week ago. Now, ONPASSIVE today, because I think we've got 7 days left in the extension that Ash gave us. They could have already gotten that money back. So it could be happening very, very quickly. But again, whether it's a couple of 2-3 days, whether it's another extension, whether it's 5 months, for me, it really is irrelevant. And the reason it's irrelevant, when we think about our lives, we were not built for the mundane. None of us here were built for the mundane. To have days come and go, and each day rolls into the next day, and they're all the same. That's not what we're built for. That's not what our spirit is made for. That's not what we're on this earth for. We're here for the adventure. We really are. And if you don't have an adventure in your life, if you're not on their journey, if you're not engaging in the battle, you really are, you're dying a little bit each day. And this is where ONPASSIVE comes in. This is where it gets so ingenious what Mr. Mufareh has done. If you're in ONPASSIVE, you are in the journey. You are in that place where you're engaging in the battle, and you're actually engaging in.
Because you're in ONPASSIVE, you're engaging in the battle. I mean, all you're fucking doing is sitting around going to these goddamn get-togethers. What are you engaging in? You're engaging in waiting and wasting your time. That's all you're fucking doing.
Adventure, and it changes every single day. It's never the same thing day after day after day. Each day is new, and each day there's something.
No, it's not. They're all the fucking same. There's like nothing going on. Like, have you lost your ever love, and you're really going to try to convince all of these people how basically there's something new every day. There's always something. It's changing constantly and growing and blah, blah. Oh my gosh. I just want to smack him. I just really want to smack him because this is just horseshit.
New that ONPASSIVE brings to the table. And when you think about the adventure, when you think about ONPASSIVE and being able to come in and participate, yeah, I know Ash Mufareh has come on. He's done a lot of the work with the corporate side. He's on the product side, on the commission side, the finance. He's done all that. He's gone through all the battles that he needs to go through. But we're also engaged in that same battle. We are in a battle with ONPASSIVE. And believe me, we are a tremendous resource for Mr. Mufareh and the corporate side of ONPASSIVE. So as you start to think about where you are, what you're doing,
Get out.
and you start to engage in the adventure.
Get out. Okay. So a corporation, let's for a minute pretend this is okay, they're all in fantasy world anyway. All of this stuff is pure fantasy. So we're just going to pretend like this is a normal corporation. Okay, let's just pretend that it is. And people have joined it for what I don't know. They're members of it. When the fuck is a corporation going to look out to a sea? And he said, what, 800,000? So we'll go with that because that's what the SEC claim has, is 800,000. We'll go with that. When the fuck is a corporation going to look out at a sea of 800 randos and like want their input in any fucking thing? To have them all come to a meeting and give me your input. That's not really how it works, Mike. That's just not how it works. You're not really part of the corporate. They're not looking to you to be the testers and stuff. Y'all have just been sold that crap by the one and only, the great one who you all worship.
And the journey of ONPASSIVE, all of a sudden,
the journey for the past 6 motherfucking
hopefully
years.
I can get you there a little quicker when I start talking about the numbers. But you're going to get to the place where time really isn't relevant. It really isn't, because you know what's coming. You know what Mr. Mufareh has done. You know what the structure of ONPASSIVE is. You know how it's going to affect your life. And then all of a sudden you start to grasp a lot more than what's been talked about in the past. And you get very, very excited about your life and about the adventure, about the journey of ONPASSIVE. And then you engage in the battle. And I think that's where we all belong, to engage in the battle. And the thing about ONPASSIVE, and this is so cool when I think of it.
So, Mike, do you mean like when there's a coordinated effort to strike channels and make copyright strikes and claim that people own the copyright to whatever? Is that the kind of battle we were talking about that we know that has gone on recently and before then? Is that what you're referring to? Is that kind of battle? Or are you talking about your battle against the SEC? I'm really not sure.
You know, when ONPASSIVE releases everything and everything starts to flow, and you go, you know, we just won. We just won the lottery. We just won the battle. We
didn't win anything.
Just won. We're where we want to be. But that's so far from the truth. Right now, each and every one of you are winning. And it's because of what ONPASSIVE has done. It's because of the decisions.
What is this? What universe am I in? Did I just like go down a wormhole or something? They're all winning. What exactly are they winning? How are they winning? How is going to endless webinars winning anything? Fucking shit, you're nuts.
You've made, and it's because you've engaged in the battle. You are a winner today. And that is so important for people to understand. This is what ONPASSIVE brings to the table.
A big
Nobody
nothing.
here will ever be average and ordinary again. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. And I know a lot of people out there today, the affiliates in ONPASSIVE, they don't know that yet. They don't see it yet. But they are winners today. Not when we release the funds and people start getting paid and everything starts to flow within ONPASSIVE. You are winners today, even if you don't know it.
Love bomb them.
I'm going to talk a little bit about the numbers. And again, this will give you an understanding of where you are, where ONPASSIVE is. And I have to do a quick disclaimer when I start talking about numbers, okay? I can never come on and tell you what I think you're going to make. I can't do that. Number one, I don't know the commission structure of the total commission structure of ONPASSIVE. So there's no way I can tell you what you're going to make. And I know that's what everybody wants to know. If I single someone out and I tell them this is what you're going to make, and well, no, I won't go there. I can't do that because there are just factors we don't know. But what I can do is I can talk about the market of ONPASSIVE, what's happening, not necessarily how much of that market ONPASSIVE will capture, but I know we've got smart people on this panel today, and as you listen to the numbers that I'm going to put out there, you can come to your own conclusions. And I believe, this is my opinion, the conclusions that you come to, they're going to be really, really good. They really are, and they're going to give you an idea of what's coming and what's going to be flooding over you in a very, very short period of time. So as we start to talk about the numbers of ONPASSIVE, really all I talk about are the markets. Markets, markets, markets. And if you start to understand the markets that ONPASSIVE are getting into, you can start to understand what's going to happen to you. And there are about 1 million accounts, affiliates within ONPASSIVE today. That's a lot. And in order for everybody to profit and do well within ONPASSIVE, obviously the markets of ONPASSIVE, they have to be very, very large. And none of this is new to Mr. Mufareh. He knows all of this and much, much more than we know. But as we start to talk about the markets of ONPASSIVE, we know that OConnect is going to be released to the world very, very quickly. And then right after that, we're probably going to have another 4 products that come right after that. And when we look at all of these products combined, I believe that the market that ONPASSIVE could take is about $1 trillion, and that's an annual figure. In other words, these 5 niches that I'm thinking about, and I won't go over each one of the niches. OConnect, we know that's one of them, and then there'll be 4 others behind that. But when we add all of those marks together, it's about $1 trillion. Okay. Now let's say, and again, I don't know this. In fact, I think I'm being very, very conservative. But again, it's something we're going to have to wait and see. But let's say ONPASSIVE takes 25% of that market, of $1 trillion market. This is annual money coming into ONPASSIVE. It's about $250 billion. Now I can stop right there. And you can start to extrapolate what that's going to do for the individuals participating with ONPASSIVE, the affiliates within ONPASSIVE. And that's only 25%. Again, I think that's very, very conservative. I think if you talk about OConnect, I think we'll take probably 90% of that market. I just don't know how long it's going to take us to get to that 90%. But if we just stay very, very conservative,
him and the fucking numbers. I do want to say, somebody just said that they Steamship beta tested Sora AI, and it's fucking cool. That's great to know. I've been very interested in that particular tool.
$250 billion coming into ONPASSIVE annually with 5 products. Now let me stop right there, just very, very quickly. That's 5 products, right? How many products are we going to have within ONPASSIVE? 10? 15? 20? I've heard as many as 50. 5 products, $250 billion. Now multiply that by 10. All of a sudden you start to get a picture. Yeah, that's exactly right. You start to get a picture of how big ONPASSIVE is going to be. But it's better than that. And this is where I talked to Oliver, and I know Collins talked to Oliver the other day too. And Oliver called me, and I talked to him. And we always have a great conversation because Oliver, he will blow your mind. I mean, because he thinks about things that, it's funny about the tech guys. When you talk to them, they know the actual cost of this stuff. Okay, and that's going to be relevant here in just a second. They know what each one of these products cost in the market today. And then you start to talk about ONPASSIVE, superior product, above market value, below market value, above market value at a lower cost point. And Oliver started to tell me, Ash Mufareh, he's insane. And he started to go over some numbers with me, and I went, my God, you're right, he is insane. but insane in a really, really good way. But when we talk about the $1 trillion market that ONPASSIVE has with the 5 products, it's better than that. What does ONPASSIVE do? ONPASSIVE comes out, you buy a product, and normally it's going to be a monthly cost. Okay, so you're going to pay a monthly cost for that product, and it could be every 3 months, 6 months, or a year. But we'll stick with paying for the product monthly. Let's say ONPASSIVE comes out and they get 50 million accounts within ONPASSIVE that pay $1,000 a month for the products that they're using with all the products, 5 products, all the products they're using within ONPASSIVE. That's $600 billion annually. Okay. All of a sudden, things get really, really interesting because that 250 billion all of a sudden went to 600 billion. And again, this is speculation, guys. I don't know how quickly ONPASSIVE, I don't know how quickly it'll take them to get to 50 million customers. But here's the deal about 50 million customers. When you look at that number, a lot of people go, you know, that's a really, really big number. Can ONPASSIVE really get to that point? Now, I think we all believe they can. We don't know how long it's going to take them to do that, but we believe they can. And when you get to that number, they'll be bringing in $50 billion a month when they get there, which is $600 billion a year. And again, these are my numbers, guys. These aren't ONPASSIVE numbers. These are my numbers. But I can read and I can add and I can research the markets, and the markets are out there. But when you start to think about 50 million accounts within ONPASSIVE, people go, well, maybe it's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 years down the road. Well, let's look at some numbers. Again, let's have some fun tonight. Let's look at some numbers. Today, there are 334 million companies within the world. Okay, that's how many. That's a lot. 334 million companies in the world. Now, within each one of those companies, whether it's small, medium, or large, there are different departments. So you can put a multiplier on that, and the multiplier will tell you how many departments within a company needs the products of ONPASSIVE. Why do they need the products of ONPASSIVE? What do we do in ONPASSIVE? We show people how to do a digital transformation. We expedite that process of coming into this century, getting online, doing that digital transformation, and they absolutely need the products of ONPASSIVE. Why? Superior, above market, lower price point. They absolutely have to have the products of ONPASSIVE. So when we start to think about 334 million companies within the world with multiple departments within those companies, I don't know what that number would be. It's going to be a very, very large number. All of a sudden, the 50 million people coming in and having accounts, people, companies, small, medium, large, having accounts in ONPASSIVE, all of a sudden, that number is not so big. And when we look at the amount of people online, what is it, 5.8 billion, 5.6 billion people online, 50 million accounts within ONPASSIVE is less than 1/4% of the world. It's a very, very small number. So all of a sudden, when you understand what ONPASSIVE is doing, making it possible for companies to come on, do the digital transformation, all of a sudden, when you start to think about 50 million accounts within ONPASSIVE, it becomes a lot easier to realize and believe that they can do that, because it's such a small minority of the companies in the world, and those individuals and different agencies will be using the products of ONPASSIVE. And when I talk, this is where I just lost my mind again. Just yesterday when I talked to Collins.
That's easy. Don't
the
talk
50
to him.
million, that's paying $1,000 a month. That's where we get that number of 600 billion a year. And I'm talking to Collins, and occasionally Collins will just throw something out there, and I'll just be speechless. I go, wait, back up. What did you just say? And he goes, Mike, you have to listen, hear this. You have to listen to this. And I'm going, okay, I'm listening. He goes, you used $1,000 the other day. And I'm going, where did I use that? 50 million accounts, $1,000, blah, 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 blah. I say, yeah, I remember that. I used it. No, you were wrong. When you look at the products of ONPASSIVE, and this is stuff I know, $1,000 is nothing. And then he started to go over what people were paying for some of the products that ONPASSIVE is going to have. And the numbers were just
then why don't you
massive.
Okay, the products that they're going to have, which I'm not going to disclose to you what those products were. He's just pulling shit out of his ass. That's all he's doing. He's just an ass picker. What can I say?
I mean, massive. And then we started to talk, and I said, well, what about 2,000 a month? Yeah. How about 3? Yeah, easy, no problem. How about 5,000 a month? Oh yeah, no, that's nothing. That's nothing for these people. Not only that, but you'll be saving you so much money that they will rush into ONPASSIVE. And I started to think about the numbers. I started to think about the 50 million accounts, which I think is just a piece of cake. And again, this is just market. I'm just talking market. I don't know when ONPASSIVE is going to get to any of these numbers. I have a pretty good idea, but I won't go there. But when you start to think about, no, it's not $1,000. It's $5,000. It's $6,000. And they're still saving 80% of what they were paying. All of a sudden, the numbers of ONPASSIVE, they get massive. They get so big you can't think about them. And then you need to start to think about, okay, yeah, that's possible. That could happen within ONPASSIVE. And then you start to think, well, what really happens? Well, Ash Mufareh, he's already told us. He's not going to compete against us. Everything that comes into ONPASSIVE goes through the affiliates. Everything. So where does all that mass? We don't know the compensation structure. I don't know how much of that is going to go. Ash has told us he's going to pay us as much as legally he can. So a big chunk of that is going to affiliates, you and I. So how are you going to fare in ONPASSIVE when you start to understand the numbers? And again, this is where losing the sense of time comes into it. When you start to understand that ONPASSIVE is this great adventure that we're on, that we get to participate in, that we get to engage in the battle, the journey is ours along with Mr. Mufareh and the corporate side of ONPASSIVE.
August, this is your first time with ONPASSIVE and everything, right? And this is your first time you've ever heard Mike Ellis. Oh, sweetheart. This is how he always sounds, just so that you know. And he will always say, I'm Mike Ellis, by the way, in his own videos, which is just comical. But I mean, it's all comedy gold that's coming out of him, in my opinion. I'm glad you're here,
This is where
August.
you start to lose that sense of time, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's another 3 days before things start to flow. It doesn't matter if it's another extension. It doesn't matter if it's another 5 months. And I know that freaks people out. It's not going to be another 5 months, but that's just where my mind
You
goes.
don't know that.
That would be September to September. It would be a full year, giving ONPASSIVE the time they need to do what they need to do. I think they've already done it. Again,
You think?
the money that the processors are holding, I think that could already be released. I don't know. But that's part of the 3 last steps, I believe. That's going to happen very, very quickly. And then all of the scenario that I put out
Mike,
there,
you
is it
don't
going
know
to happen?
dick all.
I don't know. But we
Everything, I don't know. You don't know dick all, but you're going to sit here and spew all this fucking rubbish. Right. Leslie says, it's already been 5 years. Why would 5 months freak them out? I don't think it would, but it would definitely add on to the length of time. And not only that, no telling how many more people might no longer be here with us, because so many people have left this earth that were part of ONPASSIVE, which is so incredibly sad. Can you imagine spending your last years, I'm going to say years because it's been years for many people, waiting for this and for it to never materialize? Talk about having regrets in life.
get to watch and we get to see. And I can tell you the numbers that I'm using, They're real, guys. These aren't imaginary. This is the research I've done. When you think about
Show us
Academy,
the research.
which is one of the
Is the
products of,
research you've done?
of Unpassive,
Like, where's my damn
that
research?
market alone,
Is this the research you've done? Why aren't you showing us the research? Show us the data. Tell us where you got the data from. You're not showing us anything. It's all your fucking opinion about it.
is anywhere from $475 billion annually up to $800 billion. That's one product. So when we start to think about 5 products, $1 trillion market, it's right in front of us. And really the gist of everything that I've just said is that this is an adventure that has been placed right in front of us. And it is one of those adventures of a lifetime. It's not the only one. There are others that are just as big, probably bigger. But this one is really, really significant. And really engage in the adventure and engage in the battle. Because each and every one of us, we battle in our own way. Whether it's mentally every day, trying to stay positive and really lifting people up, we engage in that battle in our own way. And that's really, really important. Because as we move forward, I can tell you flat out, and again, this is my opinion, but I think everybody here will agree with me. Everybody here is a winner. And everybody here has won. And in the very, very near future, that's going to turn into some things that we've all been looking to see. So we're in a really, really good place. I love the quote, losing your sense of time. When you can do that, when you can get in that perfect place, and Unpassive helps you get there, and hopefully I help a little bit. You get into that place where you don't worry about time, and however long it takes, and I don't think we're that far from it, it's just a joy. And really that is losing the sense of time, being in a place of joy. And I think Unpassive gives us that. And if it doesn't, start working on it. Get to that place where you don't worry about time and you wake up with a big old smile on your face and you're ready for the day. And you're ready for whatever Mr. Mufareh throws at us, because whatever he's going to throw at us is going to be really, really good. I'll leave it there, Ron. I don't know how close it was to the presentation I gave Collins and Andy, but it's where I'm at today. It's where I was when I talked to them, and it's a good place. It's just a good place to be, and everybody here should be there. That's it. Ron, go ahead.
You're pretty spot on, Mike. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yep.
It was excellent to hear that. And you're right. I agree. We're all winners. And it just patience is a virtue, right? It's not like you don't have to wait. We have to wait. So
you don't have a choice.
It's coming, but it's coming. I believe that in my heart. It's coming. No matter who I talk to on Unpassive, they believe the same thing. There's a couple that, they need to work on it. But I believe everybody on this panel tonight, everybody in this webinar and the attendees believe it. That's why they're here. So anybody have anything they'd like to ask Mike?
If I may just make a comment.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Minnow.
So your analogy of falling in love, it's like when you're having the vision, you're seeing the vision of Unpassive. When you're...
Oh, I'm sorry, August, I'll look at what you said, but I wanted to put on Scam Chan's comment. Wow, they feel better about waiting now. And that's all this was. To get people to be like, you can wait a little bit longer. You've been waiting this long. August, there's a claim against them with the SEC, and they started the mediation this past Friday on the 10th. Not today, but last Friday is when the mediation started. And I can find the link and I'll put it in the chat. That went to Court Lister, SEC. Okay, you should be able to scroll down to the bottom of this page and you'll see the SEC complaint and then you'll see amended complaint, August. Here you go. And the SEC's complaint is about securities fraud and also called them out for operating as a pyramid scheme, just so you know, give you the TLDR.
In tune and on the same wavelength, and you're staying engaged, that keeps you inspired. It keeps you focused. And you can't wait to wake up next day to see what's new now. And so that's where the sense of time, you can get lost in it. To me personally, I can't wait for the next webinar to get in
That's
there.
a problem.
That has become part of my life. So I'm happy that we're getting extended connect, so we're not left on limbo and apart from each other.
And that's just
what am I going to do
hanging
if I
on.
can't have this with you guys? So I'm just grateful, and the better is coming. But as long as I can still have this, I'm happy personally. Thank you.
You know, that's true, Minnow. If you look at it, Mr. McFarland didn't have to give us extensions. You know, we could be sitting here on the side of our chair waiting for an announcement for the past several months.
And you have been.
You know, but it's not in him to do that. It's in him to share what he has with the ONPASSIVE founders. So we're pretty lucky, I think, to have Mr. McFarland at the helm of the wheel. It's a big ship he's driving.
Oh, that's a different word than I'd use. Pretty
He
lucky.
hasn't ran it ashore yet, hurt anybody. So
Who here is going to
I don't have a
use
problem.
the word lucky, that they're lucky? Would any of you guys attach luck to being involved with ONPASSIVE? And you're absolutely right, Monhan. They all have an addiction just as debilitating as substance abuse, but don't realize it. Exactly, they do. They absolutely do. Because some of them have been in this since 2018. Since 2018, when there was nothing. I mean, hell, Nilo Life has come together much quicker than this bullshit. Granted, I think Nilo Life is also a scam, and Live Good too. And I'll, just let me whip out that web that I made of the interconnected ones. Holy crap.
Except sense of time. Who knows how much time we have left, right? So let's hurry up, Ash. No, just kidding. So, Chris, you want to say some words?
Let me say one thing. Let me say one thing very, very quickly. And Minnow touched it off. You know, the emotions in ONPASSIVE.
Oh, God, we're back at the emotions.
They're very, very powerful, especially those individuals that have an idea of what's happening. And that's so important, but they're emotions that are under control. But under the surface, they're just, and I know everybody's like that, they're just boiling. I mean,
we are actually being controlled.
And I hear it when all of you talk about ONPASSIVE.
You're all actually being controlled. It's like that behavior control that goes along with the bite model kind of thing. All the different ways that you are being controlled. You're being controlled by Ash when, I don't even know when he first started saying it, like how there's like basically engagement points. And so that's why people run around and like leave stupid little things underneath, the naysayers videos as well as everybody else's, and with a bunch of I love ONPASSIVE and how great ONPASSIVE is. And they can't really tell you why. They just, repeat everything that Ash said. You're being controlled by him by repeating his message over and over again. You're all in a fucking echo chamber saying the exact same thing. And you're all just like, yeah. Nobody thinks about doing their own independent research whatsoever. And when you actually do see anything that shows you research, or, you know, when I read legal documents and I'm showing you this shit, then you fucking deny it. Exactly. The influence continuum. Yep.
You can hear the deep emotions that are involved, and it's really, really powerful. And you should never lose that. I know some people, they're a little hesitant to talk to other people. People get in front of me and they bring up ONPASSIVE. Just get out of the way, because I can't contain it. And really, that's okay.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Most of the people here,
I've got to interrupt again.
You know as much as.
Okay. I'm just pretending like, okay, earlier today, I'm in a meeting and I got no ding on my phone, but one of my dearest friends sent me a message wanting to know if I was okay from the storms, because she's from this area too. I met her way back when I was 18. Hard to believe, but yep, we're still friends. And so she was checking on me. And now I forgot where I was going with this. Shit. Okay, if I think of it, I will say it again. Sorry, I forgot where I was going. I derailed myself.
You can.
Okay, now I got it. Okay. Just had to hear his voice to, like slap me. I can just imagine if she came into town, or in my text with her, if I just started talking about ONPASSIVE all the time, which, back when I was a hunbot with Beachbody, let me tell you, I fucking worked that in as often as I possibly could. And I thought I was like queen of the mountain, just like, woo, this was the greatest thing. And it's fucking not. So anybody that you run into, if you just keep talking about ONPASSIVE, they're not going to want to be your friend. They're not going to want to talk to you. They're going to want to fucking run away from you. That is not a way to win friends and influence people. That's a way to go like, oh, he's one of those. Yeah, we don't want any involvement in any of that. Unless you find the people that, you already have on your little scam list that you can like get them to join up. I'm just presuming that there's some kind of little scam list.
Verbalize what I do as well as I do, if not better. And showing a little emotion, it's not a bad thing, because ONPASSIVE, deep down, there's a volcano ready to erupt. And again, that's going to be a fun thing to watch too. Go ahead, Ron.
That's a good point. Thank you. Chris, share some words with us.
Oh, must he?
I thought you weren't going to pick on me.
I never said that.
No,
And Lisa says, I heard waiting for wire transfer for months. In what organization did you hear that from, Lisa?
I actually like the way Mike started it out about falling in love with a woman. I think everyone can relate to what he's saying. And it really woke me up a little bit as he was saying that, because I'm thinking, you're right. You want to be with that person. You're excited. You can't wait for the phone to ring.
And you also annoy your friends about that too.
It was a very good analogy. Comparing it to ONPASSIVE, I believe he was doing that, because I believe we could say ONPASSIVE is a woman. It's many things, but we could say it's a woman. It's got all the curves. It knows how to hug us, and it's a beautiful thing. I don't know if Mike was going there, but
I'm not that bold, Chris.
It really was how you start.
But you're spot on.
You had me at hello, Mike, right off the start. I just think it was a wonderful comparison about something that you love that much that you want to be with. I think down deep in all of our hearts, we have this extreme love for this company called ONPASSIVE. I believe we have an extreme love.
And August, I know that you're new with all of this stuff. Wait until you hear some of the racist and sexist things that come out of the man's mouth that created this mess. because, you know, when he pops back up, because he's like a little, you know, groundhog, will just like kind of go into his little hidey ho. He'll pop out every now and then. Not that you're able to read exactly what it means or anything, because you can never really understand him. But, he says some of the most cringiest, inappropriate things that I've ever heard anybody say. And if the company I worked for, if the CEO spoke like that, I'd be rethinking my career path.
Ash Mufareh for doing this. I think we have extreme love for people that get out every single day and talk about it, where you talk about it a little or a lot. It's a big deal. And Mike said some numbers that probably most people don't think about. And there's a reason for that. But I like hearing the numbers. I like hearing how many businesses
they
there
never
are in the
are.
world. I like hearing about how many people really need ONPASSIVE. And I say it.
None.
Everyone.
No, none.
I know everyone's
No one.
not going to be get into ONPASSIVE, but I'm almost going to say 2, 3, 4 years down the road, where we keep growing, we're still growing. I think ONPASSIVE is going to be that household name.
Okay, you're still
that we
growing.
say with Sony or
You're
even,
still growing?
even Facebook.
Then why is the Singapore office shut down? Just throwing that out there, Chris. I showed the document. Still growing, and yet losing offices.
And it's going to be that big. And what does that amount for all of us? Security, safety, love, those curves I was just talking about, that you're next to, that you're part of, that you're in. I mean, ONPASSIVE is a beautiful thing. And all I ever ask people is just give it a chance. Check it out. I'm not going to sit on a webinar. You don't have to. I never said so. I said, come on to this webinar. Or come on to this webinar. Let's listen to this guy Mike speak. Or Marty. Or Red. All the big ones. You know? All you got to do is listen to them. And then the kicker is it's free to get in just to check it out. If Ford Motor Company, and I like using Ford because I worked for them for a long time, if they got on the news and said, listen, you guys come on down and drive our cars for 10 days, 14 days, tell us what you think and make your decision. How many people would jump all over that? Everyone would. So I'm looking at it. Now that's just a car or a truck or a van or an RV, whatever you want to call it. But when you test drive ONPASSIVE, you're really seeing what it's going to do. And it's a vehicle that's going to take you everywhere. Where that car you might get in your driveway, you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay for it dearly because cars are very expensive. We're talking about a vehicle that you get in, you start the key for free, check it out, and you make a minimal payment of me. I paid, I don't know, $143, basically. All right. Now, I don't know about you, but when I bought cars, I used to put a lot of money down on them. I used to have big car payments for everything. Now,
then you were foolish.
Ash Mufareh said, get in this damn vehicle. I want you to drive it to higher hell water. I want you to go up and down.
Oh, I mean, I am just shaking my head. Get in this vehicle. So now he's using an analogy that all of a sudden ONPASSIVE is a vehicle. And by the way, Chris, you just bought an expensive RV that you were going to travel around the entire country to go and meet other founders. You were down in Florida where Ash is, and apparently he was not interested in meeting you because he didn't show up to anything. I think you had one meet and greet, and then you somehow fell down and were in the hospital for I don't know how long, and then in your cousin's yard living in your RV. I mean, you're still being wasteful with spending so much money on vehicles. You did it with a damn RV. Now what are you getting out of that RV? Did you finally turn it in? Where are they going to repossess it? Is that why you went back home? I'm just curious.
Through and I want you to try to break it. But I want you to enjoy it. Check it out. Tell me what you think. I want to know what you think.
Try to break it. It's broken.
There's not a lot of people that offer that these days. Most of it comes with a price. Hey, we're going to give you our free this product. Hey, and you go through all this. It's okay. Now give us your credit card number. But passive doesn't do that. I guess it bothers me that I hear people on a daily basis say that he's taking people's money when he's never taken anyone's money. He did a one-time thing. He's not sucking everyone dry like everyone else did every single month. Boom, give me that. Boom, give me that. And Minna made a good point. He didn't stop anything. He said, oh, no, we're going to extend it. Just keep using it. We're almost there. We almost got it, but keep using it, which I don't care what anyone thinks. It cost him millions of dollars to do this. Every extension he gives us.
How do you know it cost him millions of dollars to do anything? I mean, where do you have proof? Is your proof just because Ash said? Is that it? Is that it? That's all you have? Okay, go sit down.
Gives us. So I say get out there and use that. Use it for what it's worth, because
it's not worth
absolutely
anything.
Free. It's absolutely going to be the best web conferencing tool. Is now, will be forever. And you get it for free right now, for free for quite a while. And we do use it every night. You have the opportunity every single night to call one of your friends or one of your family and say, listen, just click on this, get these 3 free products. And I want to do a connect with you just to show you what we got. Just coming on here now and looking at the clarity, the sound, the buttons I can play with. And you notice we don't really play with the buttons that much because we kind of want to hear what's going on. I can hit the applause and the funny laughter, which I still get a kick off of. We play a game every night on Minnow Trivia that we absolutely have a blast on. Like I said, we fight, we laugh, we cry. All for free because we are representing ONPASSIVE. We're the representatives of ONPASSIVE for these products. And I'm still blown away by OConnect. And there's so much more coming. Mike made a great point about how many businesses are in this world. How many businesses right now are looking into artificial intelligence because they know if they don't get involved in it, they're going to fall way behind. Ash Mufareh designed all these products for that reason. Ash Mufareh designed.
And you know what? You're just like losing the boat because all of the companies that have anything going on in AI are putting out products. That they have stuff on the market. What do you have? Oh, you have OConnect. That's it. That's it. That's all you have. And what is that based on? Oh, you built it from scratch? Did you? Did you? Have you built anything from scratch? Because I think we know the answer to that.
Products for individuals who just can't seem to get anywhere. That's what I love about this. I can name 5 people off the top of my head in my life that have never gotten anywhere and they're my age or older. And they've tried and failed here, failed there, got a job that closed down. Man, I can't wait to see their faces when ONPASSIVE lights up the world. Because the brighter ONPASSIVE lights up the world, the brighter your world's going to be. Just remember that. It's a great thing. And Mike, that was a phenomenal presentation. I really do appreciate and respect you, brother. I really do. Thank you. Ron, back to you.
Thanks, Chris. But I do want to say one other thing about the numbers. Chris brought up the numbers real quick. The second analogy I used is really, really important. Getting to that place where the money really doesn't matter. I mean, I worked for 5 months, made absolutely nothing, and I didn't care. And ONPASSIVE, you will get to that place where the money just, it's not even relevant anymore. Yeah, I know Mr. Mufareh is going to do his thing. Everything's going to start to flow. Your pockets are going to be filled. Your tank's going to be filled. But you're going to get to a point very, very quickly. And I had this conversation with Oliver yesterday too. You're going to get to the place where the money, it's not relevant anymore. And the only question you're going to have is, what am I going to do with it? Because you're going to have more than you need, in my opinion. there's going to come a point in time when you wake up and you go, dang, I hope there's no more money back there, because you know, what are you going to do with it? And now you have the problem, okay, well, what do I do with all this stuff? And that's the place and time where everything is just perfect. And you really search deep, and you figure out, okay, what do I really want to do with this? It's all good stuff. So there will come a point in time, and for me, it happened very, very early on. When I'm right where I want to be, it's not about the money, guys. I don't care. And ONPASSIVE is one of those things. The journey alone, learning from Mr. Mufareh, getting to know Mr. Mufareh, getting to know the people within ONPASSIVE, that's a reward within itself. And it's way better than.
Hey, Mike, I just have something to share with you. And maybe you'll learn something from it. Just maybe. Where am I? Where is my? There it is. That's not it. I'm trying to get to where is my. There it is. Okay. I see where you guys are. Let me share this. Okay, you guys, I'm showing the PDF. Remember earlier, the interactive landscape I was showing you? This is like all the companies that are part of this 2024 MAD Machine Learning, Artificial Intelligence, and Data Landscape. And this was published in March of this year. And I'm going to show you, ONPASSIVE is not listed here, but do you notice there's like a fuck ton of different companies working on all of this shit? So it's not like ONPASSIVE is just coming out here and creating something that's unheard of. I am quite confident that people working at these other companies know far more about AI than Ash does, or any of the people that may or may not be actually doing any kind of work or not doing any kind of work with ONPASSIVE. Just saying, just so we're clear, Mike. And you can look this up. You can look for the 2024 AI landscape. You can find it. It's not that hard. Okay. Sorry, guys. I just had to show that to him. These people actually need to go look at some stuff. Like, are we being told the truth? Oh, no, you're not. Maybe learn that you're not being told the truth.
Any of the money that's going to be coming, believe me. Money, it comes and it goes. It's just the way it is. That's life. But the stuff that we've developed within ONPASSIVE, with the relationships with Mr. Mufareh, that's really priceless. And eventually, and I know a lot of you are already there. You're already there. But yeah, I just wanted to add that. I love to talk about the numbers. I love to talk about the figures, but in the end, it really doesn't matter. It's just one of those things that I get excited about. But in the end, it's like it's not even real. I throw numbers out there. I don't even know what that number. I mean, can you really understand what $1 trillion is? I can't. It's so money.
Monhan, I'm so glad you said that. And in 5 years, it's likely that 2/3 of the companies are showing will be out of business, even though they're working on real products. I mean, that's the key difference. They have real products. And how does ONPASSIVE stand a chance? And that's very true. I do expect a ton of these companies to, right now, to me, it's like it's the Wild West out there. And it will settle down eventually. But right now, it's just, woo! It's crazy.
It comes and it goes, but ONPASSIVE and the relationship we've made, that's for life. As I talk to Collins, and he has some things he wants us to do, and they're just really, really cool things. So that's it. I just want to throw that in there, Ron.
Dr. Lisa, you are familiar with numbers. I don't know where you, if you were here when Mike was talking about 334 million companies, each of which have different departments, that if not all the products are going to be used or needed by maybe some of them, And this number is like, doesn't even fit in my mind, right? So do you think in ONPASSIVE dictionary, insanity has a new meaning?
Oh, definitely.
Brilliant. Go ahead, please.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think in less than 6 months, maybe a year, that Passive is going to redefine not only business, but businesses, how they operate, what they look for, how they market. It's going to touch everything. It doesn't have a choice but to touch everything because it's already expansive. It's already so big. So I didn't hear the numbers from Michael, but I know how he loves numbers, and I listened to some of his broadcast, which talks about how big Passive is going to be and the market that it's going to hit and the different products and the capabilities and
Thank you, Takara.
opportunities. We're going to be huge. We're going to be huge.
You're welcome,
And
Steamship.
can I comprehend that now? No. Can I imagine it?
And this is
but to really
okay, they're all thinking about how huge they're going to be. And with me just showing you that, the landscape that I did, they're not even on the map, They have no idea of how crazy it is out there with new products just almost like popping out left and right. Just you sneeze and there's something new that you hear about. And they have nothing. And they're claiming that AI is, interweaved in everything. And they have nothing. It's not. It's just, you guys you're like not even a speck of dust when it comes to all of this stuff.
It's going to hit all of us at a different time. I hate to say it. One day we're all going to say, we're just going to.
Thanks for joining, Lisa.
Like, wow, we did that. And Ash has, if you think about how creative and how his mind thinks, just creating this company, just in how his business mentality is and how he thinks about other people and he's out there to protect everybody. He's trying to protect people online. He's trying to help protect people that are in need. I mean, there's no other CEO in this world that is like Ash. And because of him and because of what he's created.
Well, here's the thing. The problem is they're not in what I would say is traditional business, because this type of company is not traditional. And as what I've said before, it's part of the pack that's created by criminals, run by criminals, promoted by criminals. It's like that whole thing. It's a lot of people that are willing to just not care about others and make them think they do care. That's what's always so bizarre, is how people believe all of these people are, one, changing the world, two, have something that's never been done before, and this is the thing, and three, they're doing it all for you. They're not. They're doing it for themselves. That's what they care about, is themselves, not you. But they will tell you all kinds of things so you think it's about you. It's not. It never has been. It's all an act. It's an illusion. Illusions, Michael. That's all that it is. Smoke and mirrors. It's a magic show, except for there's no magic.
He's opened a door for not just us and or customers, but also in terms of just in terms of business, everything. I mean, I can't think of any company that may have touched every aspect of business outside of ONPASSIVE, or has the capability of doing so. I mean, there might be some that might use the accounting side. There might be, online teachings and stuff like that, and Blessed and Academy. But if you think of like one company, they're normally focused on one agenda or one area of business where we.
I think I'm just going to go bash my head in. Just hearing her speak is driving me nuts. But I mean, she obviously believes absolutely every single thing that she's saying. It's just, yeah, there's no academy. There's like the things that she has mentioned, these things don't exist. So again, they are passionate about something that's not real. It's just like Tinkerbell, Tinkerbell is a part of a story. This is all of this is a made up story that these things work and that everybody can get rich. Everybody can make a living. I'll just say everybody can make a living, sustainable living where they don't have to worry about bills at all. And it doesn't work that way. It never has, it never will. But they will keep you dancing. Just work a little bit harder, work a little bit longer.
Are focused on everything. So.
Thank you.
Chris, you said that not everybody will get into ONPASSIVE, but the nice thing about it, it's built for everybody. No matter
and how do you
who, what, where, when you came around or what you are, or whatever, it was built for you.
Again, all of this is bullshit that's come out of Ash's mouth. They're not doing anything other than rehashing everything that Ash has ever said. That's all that they do in these things, is just rehash what he has said as if everything he said was 100% the truth. Irrefutable.
And I was going to call on Mr. Manna, but he turned his camera off. And Marty's got his camera off.
Yeah, they're off doing other things.
Collins, are you there?
Marty's back.
Marty's there. Marty, can you come on and share some things with us?
What do you want to hear?
I want to hear you, brother. I want to hear you tell us how great we are, how good we are. And
no, Marty, just tell him I'm insane and not to listen to me.
I tried that, Mike, and it does not work. Okay. No, listen, I'm not, believe it or not, I am a numbers guy. I just don't say it out in the open. I mean, me and Mike have had crazy freaking talks, okay? And I understand what can happen. I just want to be careful that it doesn't cause any more headaches for Mr. Mufareh. But you could do the math on what we have now and just make this very simple. If a product was $100 and you made 25%, you'd make $25. So if you had 100 people, times 10 would give you what? If you had 1,000 people, times 10 would give you what? And this is how this is going to grow. Now, times that times 5 products, now times that times 10 times the amount of people. Now you're talking $100,000, $200,000 a month. Is that out of the question? I know it's not. It's not an opinion. It's not. It's really not. There'll be people making $1 million a month. Very short amount of time. And it's only because if you just look at basic numbers, forget what it is. If you got $100 and you make 25%, that's $25 every month that subscription comes in. Now you get 10 people, that's $250. 100 people, that's $2,500. 1,000 people, that's $25,000. I don't know about you, but even starting to hit $2,500 a month is life-changing for people. It's absolutely life-changing. For the world, $100 a month is life-changing. For 99% of the people on the planet where they make $2 a day, it is life-changing. They will be able to change their whole village. But see, the beauty of ONPASSIVE is it's colorblind and doesn't care where you're from. So the same
Except for Ash
500 I
does.
get is the same 500 that lady's going to get in Papua New Guinea that sold beans to get her $97 account. So that's the beauty of it. But I mean, you just have to multiply. It's not hard. If you have one product and then, I mean, just figure $100 a month. If you made your first month, you made 100. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, but double that for 12 months. The word suck will not be in your vocabulary. I can guarantee that. It will change your life. But during this time, that's what's happening. Things are multiplying. Now, some people pre-built, some didn't. Some said, I don't want to. Don't. Nobody has to do anything. That's the point. You don't have to do anything. I think the worst thing to do is try to be somebody else. Oh, I'm going to do this because she does it, or I'm going to do this because he does it. That's not how you operate. Do something because you feel good about it. You're not going to see me write a bunch of books, okay? That way, bye-bye to me and freaking welcome back color class 25, 30 years ago. But what I like to do, I'm doing. Do what you feel comfortable with, because with ONPASSIVE, whatever you like, whatever you care about, I believe this. I don't believe it. I know this. You could make millions of dollars just on the passion of something you love with the platform of ONPASSIVE. If people really look at what we have and what we're part of and what you can tie something into, I don't care what it is. If it works, it's legit. You have a marketplace right now on a street that 3 million people walk by every day. It's not that much. But that same marketplace, your store, is one day going to have 30 million people walking by it daily. And then 300 million. Where does that put you? People are looking for what you have, they're going to jump on it. And how much work do you have to do? I think it's called zero. You maintain what you do. Ash made it so that everybody's a superstar. You don't have to be a marketer. I'm doing YouTube so I can get people outside of this fishbowl and bring them into ONPASSIVE. I'm not doing YouTube because I want to be a YouTube star. If I wanted to do that, I would have done it a long time ago. It wasn't my goal. But there's people out there I want to get in here. Facebook sucks. Most people don't like Facebook. Go look it up. But Facebook built me and Mike's team and Dan. A lot of it. But it wasn't from just going, hey, you want this? No, it costs money. It costs a lot of money. You guys don't have to do that. I wouldn't recommend doing it. It could be a headache. Months and months and months go by and you realize you just spent 5, 10 grand, 30 grand, whatever, and you don't have a lot to show for it. Then one day you get it. Who's going to wait for that? Nobody wants to wait for that. What did Ash do? If Ash was to build a company personally, perfectly for what he wants to do, forget founders, that's what he did. The difference is he built ONPASSIVE and scaled it so that millions can benefit from it. That's unbelievable. That's absolutely unbelievable. But when you're looking at the money and you're, oh, this and that, I don't expect anybody to be able to swallow the numbers because they don't make sense. You got people that are living paycheck to paycheck and you're telling them, but what are you going to do when you make $100,000 a month? Oh my God.
Isn't that an illegal income claim?
Look, it's not because I make that kind of money, but I know what's going to happen. To me, that's a joke. Like Mike says, time doesn't matter. It's going to happen. I tell you what, last September, we launched this company officially. Thank God we tripped and fell. Because the O Connect we have now, this is the best of the best. We were good then. We were better than all of them, but not something where I'm freaking out over. I'm freaking out over this. I told Ash, you give me a payment system and I will set myself free with O Connect, nothing else. Myself, Mike, and Dan, to be exact. I'm not joking. There's no doubt in my mind we could do it. But now picture this. They're doing it for you, and then another product comes out, and you automatically have X amount of people in your business. That doesn't change. It increases. So if everything Ash ever made was $100 each, you make 25 from one, and you got 10 products, you're making 250. You got 100 products, you're making 2,500. And now multiply that times. I mean, there's no limit to what I'm talking about. You could.
There actually is a limit.
It depends on. I think people think too small, and I understand why. What do you have reference? You don't have a reference. I saw the power of this in the first 5 days. And when I saw it happen the first 5 days, I went, holy cow. And we didn't even get started. And 30% didn't pay yet. I'm thinking 30% of all of them passive hasn't paid yet. And that's the first product. Now, what do I think that is? I think it's extra accounts that people didn't have the money for. But when they get their bonuses and they get their money that they have coming, they're going to take that money and buy those positions that are open. What's that going to do? It's going to start another snowball, another round of commissions and bonuses. As soon as you get to breathe in after that, another product's going to come out. Then you pay for that and you get that whole thing over again. By the time that settles down, your next commission from the first product's out. But guess what? We now have 35% more people. So now you got to increase what you're doing. And at that time, Ash adds another product. And then you find out that a university joined in your organization that's using OConnect, or they're using Academy. And you can get a calculator if you want. But for me, that's way too much time wasting money counting money. Just go with it, because it's going to happen. But if you know it, you're not going to worry about time. Like Mike said, that's what all this is about. I'm not concentrating on, oh my God, it didn't happen. I'm going to swear to everybody here. I never get up in the morning the last 3 years ago, I hope it launches today. It doesn't enter my mind. Now, when the day comes that it did, I'm going to be a happy badass. No, I mean, there's no doubt. But I don't dwell on what isn't or what I have no control over. Never. It's too fun of a journey. And there's things I can do to get ready for that day when Ash says, okay, it's here. Because I guarantee what's going to happen next. Marty, I've got $1,000 in my wallet and I don't know how to get it. Well, what is it for? It's for O-Tracker. Do you own it? No. You can't have the commissions unless you own it. Oh, really? See, that kind of stuff is what's going to happen. And that's the part of the journey. I want people to know their business, know what you're doing. You don't have to know a lot, but I guarantee there's going to be people with thousands of dollars and they don't know how to get it. Don't even know what it is. But they would if they just stayed, instead of worrying about when are we getting paid, when are we getting paid? Okay, you got paid. Oh, I don't know how to get it. Trust me, that's going to happen. I guarantee it. But if everybody did their thing, concentrate what you have control over. I don't have control over what's being done next. In fact, I got a news flash. Neither does Ash. Zero. Because if he had control over all that, we'd be running right now.
So who does have control? What are you actually saying? Is Ash then not in control of anything? I just found that that terminology just seemed very odd. And yes, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but you have the pink hand wavings and it looks like some little cartoon head dude and another pink hand waving. Please use your words and not emojis so that we know what you're saying. Thank you.
You're done.
Because nobody wants to run more than he does. Millions a month to give us an extension. Not thousands, not hundreds of thousands. And he's got people telling him.
And again, how do you know this? Where is the proof of this? Have you seen the financial sheets? Not if he, held up anything that I would trust it. Because as far as I'm concerned, you can't trust the man. If you can see him, you can't trust him, kind of a thing. Even if you can't see him, you just can't trust him. But love how they say all of these things with conviction as if it's 100% the truth when they have no way to verify anything other than because Ash said so.
What the freak are you doing that for? He said, because I want the people to be happy. That's who he is. That's fact. That's why when you hear somebody, oh, I think he did this, I think there's a million people to go to. Don't say that shit to me. You're not going to like what happens. You're not going to like what I say back. You will not like it. Oh, you're mean? Yeah, I'm mean. Really mean. Watch me. There's a lot of things to complain about, but the facts are, if we look at what Ash has done, not what he's going to do, we have no way in our history that we could say he's trying to get over on us. Because if it wasn't for these pain in the ass founders, Ash could have been running. But he doesn't want to do that. He wants it for us. And yes, the numbers, what you're saying and Mike's saying, I know people wrapped around that. But I'll tell you what, I was in the industry for 20 years, 15 years before this MLM, and they all mentioned the money. And they all mentioned how much you could make. But only 1% got it. So I don't care about the money.
Let's see. Going back to earlier webinars, there's plenty of them where it says, see how you can take $25 and turn it into $2 million a month or over $2 million a month, I believe. So, yeah, people joined. They didn't join just because like, oh, I just think this is a good thing to do. People joined because they wanted to make money. That's literally why they joined. And I don't know why, you know, they have to pretend like that's not what they ever had in mind. You know, it's like there's nothing wrong with desiring to make money. The problem is when you haven't for so very long. That's a problem.
I care about when it happens. It's going to happen. Do we have the tools? Do I believe it's going to happen? 99.999. It's going to happen. So in the meantime, work on what you can control, not what you have no control over. And never think Ash is dragging his feet. Nobody in their right mind would drag their feet for millions of dollars. It doesn't make sense. Hey, I'm going to hold off. I'm going to pay everybody, pay the election. I'm going to pay for everybody. I don't want to launch just because I just want to wait. That's just dumb. It's dumb. Of course he wants to go. But all the bad things that happen or we think were bad, I look back and look at the good part of it. The O-Connect we're really going to launch, it's going to take that 90% of the market. The old one might have, but it would have took time. This one's going to wipe it out. Yep. And if everything like this level, ONET, OMail, whatever, come up to this level, just this level, we're going to take 9% of everybody's market. Anybody to do with email, anybody to do with now. Do I believe we're going to help companies? I believe we will make companies soar like an eagle because we sell digital products. This is what they need. If I had ONPASSIVE 15 years ago, the first business I would have got it.
You know, how come Ash doesn't talk about all the people within the tech sphere that he knows? How come he's never mentioned, you know, all those people? Well, here's an idea because he doesn't know them and they don't know him. There's not going to be anybody like the corporate level. Nobody's going to want to do shit nor shinola with you. And on a personal level, it's way far too expensive.
If they were doing it, we'd still be in business. A lot of good products, but their system sucked. Ash built a system for everyone to win. It's not just about founders. We're the beneficiary of it, but the company was set up for everyone but us. We're going to get to reap the rewards. I got it. But you're going to see customers, probably 90% customers don't even build a business. You're going to see universities. They're not worried about building a business, but they don't mind saving $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month for tools when they can get in ONPASSIVE, and it's better. But if you're going to think about money, I mean, you can, but you're wrong. Because Ash said a long time ago, dream bigger. I thought he was a nut. I don't care if you tell 5 family members I'm going to make you rich. Okay. He did. He said it with 1 million people under.
You know, I'm just kind of sitting here kind of laughing, thinking about who's going to do the presentations to corporate, other organizations. And imagine it, let's just play again. The university where my, professor is now in chair of whatever department. And all of a sudden, it's like, and let's just pretend that, I'm in ONPASSIVE. I'm like, hey, doctor, let me show you the script. I think it'd be great for the university. And let's just say, for whatever reason, they decide to test it out and stuff. How long do you think that process would be? Because it's not a quick and easy process. These places vet everything out. And they're usually looking, if their contracts are up for review, they're usually looking at other potential companies that they may want to use to like replace something. Or they may just have one in mind. But they make it sound like, oh, you're just going to be able to go off and sell this to a company. How come nobody is thinking in terms of that, of what companies need and how they operate when making decisions when it comes to technology? You just don't walk up to Mr. Smith and say, hey, buy you some OConnect for your company. It doesn't work like that at all.
Dream bigger, dream bigger, dream. I'm thinking, what the frick? How could you say that? That many people, you're all going to win. You know, all the stuff he's doing, and we go, I don't understand why he's doing that. Why are we in Egypt? Why are we doing stuff in Africa? Well, there's your answer. Mm-hmm. The foundation. Mm-hmm. So when this thing goes off, he has the foundation to handle it. Mm-hmm. We're all going to be part of it.
Marty, may I ask Collins? It's past 3 in the morning. He has to go catch some sleep. If you chip in, then we'll get back to you, Marty, if you don't mind.
No, I'm good. I didn't really want to talk anyway, so I'm good.
Go ahead, Collins, please.
You could have said no.
Unmute.
That was an option, Marty. You could have said no when asked.
Thank you. No, I was just listening to Marty. Just want to thank Marty. Marty, you just said a lot of things that I wanted to chip in, which is really good. Because this evening, before even jumping here, we had a lot of conversation with Marty for almost 3 hours. Marty, we're there for 3 hours, isn't it? 2 or 3 hours today before coming here. So, and the same thing we're just talking about. So I said, all right, we're coming to listen to Mike Ellis. And, Mike Ellis, you made a point, really clear point, what we discussed in our show on Tuesday, time. Time, normally time is irrelevant, especially when you're doing something you love. I think with ONPASSIVE, I've just lost sleep. I don't know. Every time when I listen, I can't really measure the time because the best thing I've done in my life is ONPASSIVE. A part of my job, ONPASSIVE is the only thing I've done without getting anything. But the reward, knowing people, is really not the money part of it, but the reward, knowing people, to all of you, is really, really great. So when we look at it, I look at the extension. I know a lot of founders is like, why do we have an extension? Every time there is an extension, it gives us the opportunity to learn something new. And it also draws the company closer to something big. That's what some of the founders don't know. When you look at, you said time, the extension and stuff like that, the question I'm asking myself, and I ask a lot of founders, how much do you know about ONPASSIVE? Are you ready when ONPASSIVE is out? When Mr. Ash Mufareh push that button and say, yes, this is it. How much have you prepared? That's the question we must ask ourselves. Preparation comes with knowledge of ONPASSIVE. Now, I look at the statement of Catmo. A lot of founders like the TMO, traffic money, but they refuse to learn the CA, which is complete automation. I love CA, because that is where the money will come. If you don't really understand CA, then forget about TMO. Because TMO is traffic and money. The traffic comes when you have, a valuable product. If the product is not valuable, drive customer there. Madi is a marketer. Send customer to an empty website. Or come back to Madi and said, I went there, there's just nothing. And they'll never trust Madi again or Mike Ellis. So the CA is the key. Then the traffic now will come. But that CA doesn't even know the owner. I discussed with Madi today. So that's where the knowledge comes in. How much do we know about ONPASSIVE? Because the automated system doesn't even know Mr. Ash Mufareh. If Mr. Ash Mufareh do it otherwise, the system will struggle to even understand what Mr. Ash Mufareh is doing, because the system is automated, but we must do our bit to understand what the system wants us to do. Push the button, as Mr. Mufareh said, we push the button. Subscribe, like Madi Digamos talk about. There are a lot of founders who will see maybe $500 or $100 and don't know where the money is coming from. Maybe they'll say, I have money in my wallet, I cannot take it, because one, they lack that understanding of knowing you need to purchase that product because maybe it's coming from commission that someone have bought it, in your customer base. Now you have it, you don't even know you need to go and subscribe for O Connect. That is the knowledge that we're supposed to know, how to run our business. And that's why I make the statement, the CA, we have refused to know. Most of the founders don't want to know about CA. They want to know only the TMO. When is the traffic coming and when is the money coming? They refuse to know the complete automation, which Mr. Ash Mufareh just built it, put it in front of us. Because AI doesn't know the owner. It doesn't care if you're black, you're white, Mr. Ash Mufareh owns the business, but if it goes against it, the system will just bounce back with an error and say, you know what, I don't even know you. I don't know what you're trying to do. You tell me. That is the automation. So let us try to understand ONPASSIVE. Whilst we are waiting, we always think like, wow, there is a 10 days. Let's take it as an opportunity to learn.
Okay, so while they're waiting for the products that don't exist to be developed, that none of us are holding our breath about, that's what we're going to do. And we're just going to believe that's all going to be okay. I mean, I'm really confused about what he's trying to say to everybody. Satish, I'm not sure what you mean by genuine. If you're asking if it is on the up and up, like 2 thumbs up, like, yeah, nothing's wrong. I would say you should become familiar with what the claim and the amended claim say, that the SEC, that whole thing, which is very important. Getting charged by the SEC is a really big deal. And so are the past connections that many of the people who are part of ONPASSIVE, many of them have. And I would not say their connections are stellar. And there you go. My people are telling you how it is. Great question, CD says. If you mean truthful, then no. Ash has been lying for 5.5 years. And Scam Chan says, genuine scam. Monhun says, if it's completely automated, what exactly can founders learn about the CA part of Catmo? Unless they read every single line of source code powering the complete automation. Wow, that's a good one. And CD said that Ash lied about the SEC trial. He said you don't need to worry about it. Well, that's wrong. The trial will happen next year. And I will add that is currently it's in mediation. If no agreement is reached between the SEC, ONPASSIVE, Ash, his wife, and all of that, then it will go to trial next summer. And Satish says in India, almost 6. I'm probably not going to say it right. Is it lax? Founders depend on ONPASSIVE. Not sure what happening every time, extending every 10 days. Well, I think you're pretty much answering your question is that nothing is happening. You just keep getting an extension to make you think something is happening. Oh gosh, so people are just keep believing that like it's happening next week, and so they're not doing anything. That is horribly sad, and I wish I could tell you something to stop that and prevent people from behaving like that. Unfortunately, it's really hard to get people to see the truth when they join something that's questionable like this.
Understand what we need to do when the floodgate will open, because when they keep push that button.
And Beth, I'm going to say I agree with you. I don't get the point of them taking turns to pump each other up. And that's all of this is. It's like we're just having a round table. It's like, oh, let's hear from this person. Let's hear from that person. But they didn't even have a topic. And so it just becomes a worship session for ONPASSIVE, for them to perpetuate and parrot back the same things that Ash have said and they have said, because they're all regurgitating the same damn things. That's all. It's just, when do you wake up and go like, you know what, I think I have something else to do, like cleaning the lint from my belly button, just anything.
And it's ready. I don't think this Ash Mufareh will stop it again. And everyone will be looking at their business because you own something big, which ONPASSIVE have just given us. Mr. Ash Mufareh replicate ONPASSIVE to as many people who choose to come into ONPASSIVE. I said it last, I said he owns ONPASSIVE with his family, but you own yourself. I own Collins Manor. Mr. Ash Mufareh built a business, hand it over to me, complete automated. Now it's my opportunity now, my duty to run my business. He will never do it for me. I have to do it myself. So each and everyone must understand their business. And
Lamar said something important. This is not a recruit video. It's a video to keep people in line. And that's what they do by all of this constant meeting with each other. The people who are viewing it that are not on camera or anything and are just sitting wherever they are watching this, it is definitely a control mechanism. And a lot of that probably has to do with why people are going to continue to believe, because they're being controlled by this. And I think it's very interesting that Manhan says it feels like a never-ending loyalty test. And I really like how you said that, because especially when Ash is present, I almost feel like everybody kicks it up 10 notches to prove like they are loyal founders. But that's also very cringy and creepy that you would even need to feel like you need to do that, And if people are self-harming, that's something that many of us have been concerned about. I am so very sorry to hear this.
To know what to do. So there are a lot of founders who don't know, but if you of ONPASSIVE, as Mike Ellie said, time means nothing because there will be a lot of sleepless nights. So I'll leave it there. Thank you, Mino, for giving me the opportunity, and Ron, thank you very much.
Thank you for staying up so late. We'll let you go if you like to go. But Collins, in the meantime,
I'm going now.
just let me tell you, the kitchen is still open. The buffet line is still on. That's Connect. So while we're waiting, okay? Being grateful for that.
Colin, thanks for coming. We really appreciate it. We appreciate you and everything you do. And you need some beauty sleep, so go ahead.
And don't forget, you're coming on our live tomorrow, so you better go to bed now. You got to get up early again.
Marty, thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. I love to listen to you too. Anybody else want to share some words?
That's all we're doing. We're
been,
just sharing words.
I don't know how long we've been on so far, but it's.
I think
Sure, I will, Ron.
Jean, go. I'm sorry, who was that?
Kiana
Tina.
or
Kiana,
Jean,
go
you
ahead.
want to go ahead?
Go ahead,
Go ahead,
Kiana.
Gina. Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, you
Let me go ahead
Jean.
and turn off the recording first. We turn off the recording.
no.
Yeah, last time I didn't. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say I'm actually breathing a sigh of relief because when Mike was talking about how, you know, if someone asks him about ONPASSIVE, he just gushes, right? It just comes out and he doesn't care, you know, all that stuff. And I'm thinking back to when Marty was saying, as a marketer, just give them a taste. Don't scare them away. Just tell them just enough so that they do. And I have never been able to do that. And I've always said it's been like a hose in the face. And so, Mike, you've just given me some comfort because I have always thought I burned every bridge I have, because every time I meet somebody and they say, "Hey, Jean, what are you doing?" I'm just like, wow. And I can't help myself. So I just want to thank Mike for giving me that level of.
I'm here to tell you, Miss Gina Leva, you have, by acting like that. Yeah, you burn bridges. People don't like it, and they think you're weird. Just saying. Then they're done. That bought the T-shirt and the whole thing.
Comfort, because I always felt like, oh, every time someone, it's gotten to a point where I'm so exuberant about what's happening. You know, my family is like, okay, that's enough, you know, okay, turn it off, you know, and stuff like that, you know. But I'm comforted because it really doesn't matter if we have given people a hose in the face or overgushed or said too much and scared people away, because they're going to come back. They're going to remember that we were super excited about something, and they're going to say, you know, once it gets out there and people start to understand.
No, because it's not going to get out there. Nobody's going to come back and be like, oh, we should have listened to you. No one's going to do that. I mean, you have been sold this belief system, but it's wrong. It's not happening. And it really makes me sad that you really believe that people will just come back and be like, oh, wow. If anything, they're going to hear about it in a less than positive, glorious light, you know, when it's on the news. And there's already been a couple of countries that called it out. The world knows that the SEC has a case with them.
And what this is, and it becomes more common knowledge. They're going to come and knocking and say, you know, hey, Jean, you know, remember that stuff you were talking about? And just like Marty said, they're
hang on. So Satish, I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. I'm terrible with these names. So how do you know this information that he is not giving salary to employees in Howard Ave for the past 5 months? Because that is so wrong on many levels. And surely something like that could be reported. And I really am curious about, where you heard that from, and how do you know that as, you know, being factual?
Going to they're going to remember that we were excited, and they're going to want to, you know.
No, the SEC case is not closed. They had one meeting on the 10th. It's a mediation. That does not mean that it's all settled. There has been nothing published on the docket to indicate anything about there's a settlement.
get their toe in the door. So anyway, I just wanted to thank you, Mike. Oh my God, everybody that shared tonight was absolutely incredible. Just absolutely incredible. I'm so honored to be with you on this journey. It's just been such a ride. Thank you so much, Ron and Minu.
Why are these always
Oh,
journeys?
you're welcome. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So again, thank you, Ron, Manu. This is great. I just got really excited with Mike, blowing my mind with the numbers. For me, it's like I know when it happens, I'm gonna end up with verbal diarrhea. I know that because I'm just gonna like blah, 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 because I'm not gonna be able to hold myself. Like right now, I try to talk to a few people, but I feel that for some reason I'm a little bit hesitant. I'm not sure why, but because I know I'm gonna explode. Like I'm gonna be running outside and screaming, and it's here. People are gonna, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll end up at the hospital and tied down, and I know I'm going to have verbal diarrhea, and then I just, no one's going to be able to stop me at that point. And I'm glad that we don't know. Like I love surprises, so I'm waiting for it, and I'm excited for it, and I don't care what's going on, but I'm just waiting for the surprise, and that's how I think we should all be, because it's going to be exciting, and we all aren't going to know when we wake up. Like Dr. Lisa said, like we're all going to be at different stages when it happens, and and we're all, no matter what, just be grateful and appreciative of whatever it is. But just remember, that's only the beginning. Whatever the first numbers that come out, that's just the beginning. It's like what Ash says, this is the worst it's going to be. If you want to think of it as the worst numbers, the lowest number that you're going to see. Because from then on, it's just going to explode. And I'm really looking forward to that. Been struggling my whole life. Basically, I've been a single mom forever, and deadbeat ex and the whole thing. So struggled at work, hard work as in the hospital and the COVID. I mean, just everything. And I'm looking forward to helping. I'm still a person that likes to help. I like to, look after people. I still want to.
Okay, I did want to address, because you'd put the PACER information in there. All that is meaning that they've accepted what was proposed in terms of who is being there to represent the SEC during the mediation.
Talk to seniors. I still like to talk to, whatever, right? It's sort of kind of in me. But this is going to be a whole different ball game. Like it's like an earthquake.
And Satish, if you have information, you can certainly email me at this.
Ball game. Like it's just going to be totally different way, because it's not just going to be in this hospital and this place in.
Yes, CD, it does have the steps leading up to what happened last, to the mediation.
Canada, it's going to be, all over. Well, it'll be Canada, but it'll go everywhere too. Like I'm going to be happy to join in with other people and just be available. I'm here, so I'm excited, and thanks, Mike. You just keep blowing my head, and Marty, with the way you said it, like the numbers very gradual, and it's yeah, it's there's so many ways to look at it, and either way, however way you look at it, it's got you up at night. And I even have verbal diarrhea at night. I'm sitting there talking to myself and I don't even know what, and it's no wonder I can't sleep. So, but anyways, that's me. Thank you.
Thank you, Kiana. Verbal diarrhea. That's pretty good. What do the Bahamas have to say?
Hey, thanks, Ron. What's up, guys? Man, after hearing Mike, Chris, Marty, Collins, guys, you did it to me tonight. And I think this is where I'm not going to have to put this guy to rest. He's not big enough anymore. He's not big enough anymore. I'm going to have to dream bigger now. And after hearing all that's being said tonight, and oh man, I'm just, excited about what's coming. We are in a good place, and I'm just going to sit back here and just continue to trust the process. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Raphael. Say, Lucia, what do you have to say down there, Brown Sugar?
Hey, Ron, thanks for the opportunity.
Wait, did he
Hello, everyone. Hi, Minu.
Excuse me. Did he just say brown sugar? Is that what I just heard? Did he refer to her as brown sugar? Are you guys, if that is what I heard, that makes me very uncomfortable. And he did say it. He did say it. That just feels creepy, wrong, sexist. Now, if these were two really good friends, let's say they went to college together or they grew up together and they were just like, really good friends, I could understand that. But he doesn't know this person for in person, they aren't good friends from back in the day. It feels very wrong and very disgusting. But then again, look at the leader and the sexist language he uses and the racist language he uses. So is it surprising that somebody else is going to behave this way? It shouldn't be. It's just gross and disgusting.
Mike always blows my mind. And I can resonate with his analogy in, being in love. For me, being in love with ONPASSIVE is a natural right now. I eat, sleep, walk, talk ONPASSIVE. Some of my family members despise me because I talk too much about ONPASSIVE with them. My conversation, for some reason, I may start a conversation with them, but it ends up round ONPASSIVE, so they get upset. But, like everybody else said, I don't even worry about the money anymore because I know it's going to happen. It is coming. It is going to happen. With the figures that Mike shared with us tonight, it like Raphael said, I need to dream bigger. I need to definitely dream bigger. And, a lot of things that I have learned, that I have gathered, that I have, acquired on my journey with ONPASSIVE, like friendship, family, like-minded people, being around like-minded people like those of you on this panel tonight is phenomenal. This is what I look forward to. This is what I dream of. This is what I enjoy. This is what I am in love with ONPASSIVE. And I thank Mr. Ash Mufareh every day for giving us this opportunity. And I will always, always continue to pray for his safety and his family. Thank you very much, Ron. And thank you, Mike, for giving me a sleepless night tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go down there to the Right Reverend Mix.
Yeah, hello everybody. I appreciate you so much, Ron. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak, and I say thank you to all the great people on this platform. Great people, and Chris made mention of the dedication and the focus. I would say that the 1% in ONPASSIVE is always showing up. If you don't show up, you're showing up for yourself. Not showing up for Ash or anybody. You show up for your belief. You believe in this thing. So showing up whenever you can, it shows that you believe in it. And believing in it is collapsing the time. The time is now the problem.
Oh gosh.
We have the gift.
We're collapsing.
We have the
time now.
promise. The space between the promise and it being in our hands is what we are struggling with. Is what most people are struggling with. So I just want to thank Mike, always being our inspiration. Great, great, great thought. What are you, the time, you already see what you have. We all believe in it. So how are you going to, according to like the scientists, how are you going to collapse the time? The scientists also talk about the wave and the particle. When you are looking, it's not forming. When you plant a seed, if every day you go look at it, I'm telling you, you can have an experiment. You plant corn, the ones you go look at every day, and the ones you don't look at. The ones you don't look at would flourish. So we stop looking. We have to stop looking to something like every day you're waiting for the sun. You don't wait for the sun. The sun comes out when it wants. So it's a very powerful, we have to encourage ourselves.
The sun comes out when like the sun has a mood, it makes the decision. Doesn't this have to do something with like, you know, planet rotation and, you know, stuff? I just saying, I don't think that the sun is going, no, I'm not ready to wake up. I'm not coming out. It doesn't, that was just weird. Well, okay, I can take that, CD. The sun comes up every day around the same time where you live. But it just was weird how she said it. Oh my gosh. Hang on, I'm adjusting my heating pad.
And give these words of power to the people who feel that agitating the time is going to do something. It's going to do nothing. When you have to send a text to Marty or Mr. Ellis or anybody, Ron, you can just say hello. You know, when you're feeling agitated, you just say hello. At times, like when my husband hasn't come home and I get worried, I don't say, oh, where have you been? Why are you not home? I just say, I'll send him an emoji. I'm telling you, that emoji works magic. He will send me a long script of where he is, what he's doing, and all that. You see, we collapse the time. I'm telling you, be sending those emojis to Marty, and you get me, and it encourages them. And then also, when you think you don't have something, you're creating a separation. Like Mike is saying, he's right on point. We already have this thing. We already have. He's talking trillions. Forgive me if I say he doesn't have $2 in his pocket yet, but he's talking trillions. It means it's already.
Thank you, CD. Thank you said this perfectly. Instead of this, she's equating waiting to get paid is like not knowing if the sun will come up tomorrow. And sweet God, I agree with you. I mean, like, it's never easy to like listen to take out the ones that we know who talk all the time. But like, I've never seen this lady speak, and I never had seen Julie Pierre speak either. And it is so hurtful when I hear their strong belief that they have. And the lady up at the top, the Dr. Lisa, too. Is she actually a doctor? Because I know some people, it seems like they put monocles in front of their names, and I kind of wonder. It's all just different.
Got it. He's already has it. What are you talking? Also, you can talk 5,000 if that's where your mind takes you, because he's saying it respectfully that it's not everybody who can wrap their minds around trillions. So so if yours is 100,000, wrap your mind around it. In the morning when you wake up and on your ceiling, you say, "Thank God I've got all these things now." See, all of us, I think we're about 250 or 220 when I looked at the participants. If we start in the morning and we say, "Thank you that we all have received this gift of ONPASSIVE," do you know what it's going to do? It's going to change the story of the processes. It's going to quicken things when you're not looking. Are you getting me? The art, the story of we're not looking at it. We're not looking at the seed. We're not looking at the wave or the particle. We're just...
August, they have gone after Southeast Asia very heavily. And they're now in like Southern Africa very heavily. And they are, let me see if I have these in the right, if I list these out in the wrong order, or somebody please correct me. The number one market is, I think the most were in the US. And the second was India, or was India first and US second. And then third was Bangladesh. And then I can't tell you from there. But it appears as if, for the most part, their demographic would be people who are over 40. I will say that much. And also who do not have much knowledge, if any knowledge, of technology. And they probably had never used Zoom before or anything like that. Yeah, especially those who don't know tech. They don't want anybody who knows tech, because they don't know how to handle if you actually like know tech and say anything. They like to kind of like silence you. Well, they like to silence critics. They like to silence anyone that doesn't go along with their narrative. So there's that. Sorry, something popped up.
Enjoying ourselves, just sending emojis. Do you know what it's going to do? All the court cases are dropped. All of a sudden, things are opening. All of a sudden, are you getting me? We are not looking, but the great God is looking for us. And that confidence in not looking, you should not be looking at time. You should not be talking about time. You should not be talking about time. You should be dancing with time. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. You come, it's going to happen. I'm happy to see Julie. It's going to happen. Are you getting me? I'm happy to be here. You know, people think that we're playing trivia. It's trivia. Yeah, be trivialistic. It's going to happen. Just take it easy. It's going to happen. And the last thing I think I wanted to say is, when you think you don't have something, you're creating a separation. The moment you start thinking, I don't have money, I'm poor, when I'm at, you see, you create that separation. So that thinking big that Raphael is talking about, you don't have it. Thinking big means you have it. I have that house with all the chandeliers. You have to create it in your mind, and that collapses time. So thank you very much for this subject. I'm really, really interested in it. And I thank you all for allowing me to speak tonight.
I just have to say, creating it in your mind doesn't collapse time. And just continuing to, like, you know, think about you're going to manifest something, all that's bullshit.
Happy that you're here. Yeah. So, Lester, do you want to follow Ivy, please?
I'm
sense of
afraid of
time.
Ivy, you know. I hope you know this.
She loves me. She's my sweetie. I send her emojis. I'll start again. I'll stop.
No, this is a great topic tonight, but
What's the
Mike
topic?
Ellis, I am not going to lose any sleep. Not tonight. I lost sleep last night already, so I'm not losing any tonight. But the thing is, it's all there. It's great. We know what's coming. We know what's going to happen. No one should worry about time. When. It'll happen when it happens. Mr. Ash has said that many, many times. It'll happen when it happens. The time is not right now. And that's what we have to look at, because we are just here. Yes, we've got time in our hands. Okay, we've got a lot. Make use of it. Okay, like I do everything I have to do in my house. And then the evenings it's for ONPASSIVE. I try to spend some time with the mayor here and CJ at 10 a.m. I don't always make it there, but yeah, I try. So it's just the time we have to do the things that we're able to do right now. We use it because everything's being built for us. We know that. And we know that it's coming. We know that it's on the horizon. It's going to get here, people. Stop stressing, stop worrying. I don't do that anymore. It'll just age me more than I am aged already. So I'm not doing that. No worries. No worries. I just take my time. I wait. I do what I can do when I can do it. You know, it's me. That's me. So all we have to do is wait on Mr. Ash and the teams. They're doing the hard work. We are here to share, to invite people. And talking about people, let me tell you all this. I have got friends, okay, that they don't want to hear anything about ONPASSIVE because I've got so many failed businesses under my belt. They think this is another failed one. Why is she going there again? They don't know what I have in my hands. They don't know. And they don't want to hear, and that's fine with me because I know that one day soon they're going to come. Is this what you were telling me all about? And I'm going to say yes. I had this one that I sent some videos to, and she says, I don't understand this. All I'm hearing is all this jargon. And I'm thinking, jargon? Are you kidding me? Mike Ellis, Jeffrey Mullock, jargon? I said, oh, okay, it's all right. And I never spoke to her again about the business. But she's watching. I know she is. I see her. And I know that they are going to all come in the end. They're going to come to this lady in the end. Because as I said, we know what we have on our hands. Right now, it's time. So we use it the best way we know how. That's all I have to share right now. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Minu, Mike, Marty, Chris, and all who spoke before. Thank you all.
Thank you, Lisa. All right, let's go to Lori, and after that to Sherry. Lori, please. Sense of time. What do you have to say to that?
Wow. I just, when I hear the numbers every time, it's just like my mind is just blown and think of all these things and dream of all these things behind me or something, you know. But like Lister said, you know, your people that you've talked to, you know, they're just going to come running back to us. And I've got some.
And I will ask. I
got some folks that I don't know if the pride will
somebody
get to them.
asked Sweet Goth about if they were big in basically the Southeast Asia area. And yeah, Liv, did you, and you said that you helped with QNet. I did some videos on QNet, quite a nasty group. but also Enagic is another one. And I mean, the Herbalife is going to be another big one over there. I just keep going back to Enagic because there are so many of those different types of groups, but there's other ones in that area that also are, up and coming. I'm sure Market America is there. Just, to think of a few of them.
Or what? But I know my girlfriend, she just does nothing but send me all the garbage. And she tries to force that on me. And it's like, why can't you look at something I have that you're not looking at? You just keep sending me all this stuff, and you will not. She refuses. She's rude. She's been a girlfriend since grade school, but she always tries to down me or something, and I'm just like, oh man, payback's gonna be a anyways, but I'm excited. I'm here. I'm with everyone, and I love it. I'm just crazy about it. I'm probably not going to breathe very well when all this starts. I'm like in a hyperventilate thing, brown bag blowing it.
And yes, Satish, I was like, why spending this money on advertisements? I guess you're talking about like the ONPASSIVE station, all the stuff that went on in the mall, in the Burj and stuff. And in my opinion, it's to give some sort of an illusion to the people that you see here on the screen that something is going on. That's all it feels like to me. Everybody else, you guys may think something else, but that's just what comes to my mind. And I'm so sorry, I'm not going to be able to pronounce your name, but I guess it's your last name, Pandav. I'm so sorry. I cannot pronounce your name, but welcome. Thank you for joining.
But anyways, I love O Connect every night. I mean, if I didn't have you guys, I'd have nobody. I'd have to go search out trouble. We don't want that.
Yeah, this keeps us on track, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know where my track is. So anyways, guys, I love you very much.
Thank you, Lori. Miss Sherry, set the stage on fire as you always do.
Goodness. So first off, I want to thank you, Ron, and Minnow, and Mike, and Marty, and everybody who spoke with an O. The topic is lose your sense of time. Well, I lost my sense of time the minute I heard Ash's 2 videos. I knew that this was the place to be, and I never looked back. I never thought of any time. I just kept moving. And why? Because of the mission or the movement, you want to call it. And the movement is that we all know that maybe others don't understand or know, and that is to help correct the corruption and help humanity. When I heard those words, I said, "Oh, I've always wanted to be in a company that did that or try to do that." And knowing that only one person could do it, as Ash would say, our CEO of the company, my brother. He couldn't be just one Mother Teresa's, that he wanted several Mother Teresa's. So I don't look at the time as anything. I know it's in higher power time, whatever you believe in. I believe in the Lord. So it's in God's time. So we never know when things are the way they are. I just never given any thought. I just know that each little piece of this amazing puzzle is going to lead us to the promised land, or whatever you want to call it. Which, and I do recall, sometimes I talk fast because I get so excited. And sometimes I also recall Ash saying, we will own it. And when he said that, I'm like, oh yes, we're going to own it, meaning everything, because we're not just an AI company, we're a technologies company. And he has many things in the works going to help our world. So that's how we're going to own it, not just the internet, but own it, different places in the world. And this is going to go, we're going to be a household name. I've been saying that on my lives every so often. I bring it up and say, we are going to be the biggest company in the world. And it's not because of the money. It's because of the movement and the mission, which is what to help our world to be more loving, more peaceful, and more equal. And I am not going to.
Are you done?
Tell me no. I'm not going to.
They're not. You are.
You can't do this. And I want you all to know that you all matter. Everybody's heard me say this before. If I can just touch one person, maybe you need to hear this right this second. You all matter in this world. You all are very important. You're a miracle and you're unique. Nobody's like you. You're unique in your own way. You have your own passion. You have your own dreams. You have your own drive. Don't listen to people that put you down. Don't listen to people who tell you you'll never succeed. You won't be anywhere. You can't do this. You're stupid. You're dumb. You don't know how to spell all that. Let it go in one ear and out the other. I know it can be very hard to do, but when you do that, because what happens is you start believing it, for one, and two, it hurts your heart, which hurts your health. And we need you here. You're a miracle on this world. I love you. We love you. And forget what those people say. It's on them. They're having the problem. They're jealous of you. They're whatever. It is on them. You're important and you matter. So in ONPASSIVE, your dreams can come true because of
But they won't.
movement, because of the passion, because of the platforms that we have will lead you down your dream world
But
to
they
do
won't.
what you want to do in a positive way. That's all I have. I love you guys, love pieces. And I would not do without connecting having meeting so many people around the world. That also keeps us connected. And I love you guys, all the pieces. And I would never known anybody here if it wasn't for Ash and his amazing dream and his passion to make this movement. God bless.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you very much. All right. Caroline, your video's off. I think I turned it off. Are you there? You want to speak real quick?
Yeah, you probably turned my video off. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the thing about it is, I've made my decision that I'm not going to talk to people about this. What I'm going to do is when the apples start flowing, I'm just going to go out and buy me a new house, and I'm going to buy me a new car, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And they're going to come up to me and say, hey, Caroline, what's happening to you? And I'll say, okay, well, you wouldn't listen to me before, so I'm going to tell you what's going on. So that's what I've decided to do, because I'm tired of talking to a wall and all these stupid people who think they know everything and who got a lot of pride and don't want to hear what I got to say. So, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to talk to them, but I'm going to show them. And
there you go.
Thank you, Manu and Ron and Mike and all you other people who've spoken. I appreciate everything y'all say and have said. And Mike, you get me excited every time you start talking about those numbers. So keep talking about them, because is very encouraging. And not only are people going to start talking when they see my new car and my new house and my new lake house and my new beach house, but when
Okay, that's making me really sad because she really believes all this. But the thing with Mike and his numbers, or Marty and his numbers, anybody who starts talking the numbers, none of it's based in reality. And they're acting as if it is. They don't even have like a solid comp plan, for fuck's sake.
I start handing out those $100 bills to everybody at Walmart or in the grocery store, I mean, people going to say, what's wrong with that woman? She must be crazy. Well, I am crazy. So thanks to ONPASSIVE, I'm going to be crazy. That's all I got to say. Thank y'all.
Well, thank you, Caroline. Appreciate it. Prayers for John.
She sounds like she's from East Texas. I was waiting for a little bit more of it to come out, but she definitely sounds like she's from East Texas. Damar's messages aren't working for you. I'm not sure what you mean by that, because I'm seeing a message from you right here.
Yeah, thank you.
All righty. Mr. Casey, you're the last one on the screen, buddy. Casey,
Certainly looks like it, Ron. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Manu.
I always save
Thank
the
you,
best
Rev.
for last, Casey.
I don't know about that, Ron. You know, I'm a man of very few words, but I've
That's why I
listened to
keep you last.
everybody here tonight, and they've basically covered everything. Well said, Mike. I always like listening to you, like everyone else here. You touched on one thing, and
Night, Joe.
when we
Thanks
have
for
our
being here,
pockets
sweetie.
full, I think when my pockets are full, I certainly need to start helping a lot of people, especially here. There's
That just stopped. No, it's still going, but they're like frozen. Is that what it's going to be? Are they going to talk? I think that's it. That's it, kiddos. That is it. Thank you, CD. Yeah, what a snooze rush. Yeah, that's pretty much. You had to go big with that. And there's also the way business is done in Dubai is very different than in other places. You got to know people, and sometimes you got to, smooth things out with a handshake, so to speak. You're welcome, August. Well, guys, I am going to get down on the go-go. Lamisa, oh, it's so nice to see you, sweetie. It is sad to see these people. Some still believe in those empty promises. Yeah, it is. I think that's the part that gets me the most, is knowing all the people who are actually watching these things, and you don't see them, but knowing how much they believe that is also real. And oh, thank you for CD for this. So saying that the police summit removed every reference to ONPASSIVE from their site after they did a background check and discovered ONPASSIVE is a scam. Ash paid $30,000 and got nothing. Oh, thank you very much, August. Thank you for that, for the thumbs up. Anywho, I'm going to get down on the go-go and spend some time with my Bubby Wumpkin children. I think, oh yeah, Salsa went under the fuzzy blanket. You know how she loves the fuzzy blanket. So I want to say thank you to everybody who participated in the chat, all my subscribers, to the lurkers too. Also, anybody from the replay crew, whoop, whoop, when you get here, and a whoop, whoop for any of the catch-up crew too. I hope you guys have a wonderful one. And thank you to my channel members and to my patrons. Have a wonderful rest of your evening or your day, whatever time it is in the world for you. And don't forget, you're beautiful, and I love you. Until next time, have a good one, everybody.